The Dandy Andy Experience.
Welcome back to the Dandy Andy Experience. I hope each and every one of you are having an outstanding day. I'm a little tired today. I don't know. I'm kind of stupid, and sometimes I'll take NyQuil to help me sleep. But if you have ever taken it to help you sleep, you know that the next day you kind of have like a sleep hangover. You know what I mean? But, you know, you got to do what you got to do to get rest. Maybe some of you know a better sleep alternative or something. But anyways, that aside, today we are getting into your questions, the number one questions, I guess, or the top, let's just say top 100. It's not 100 questions, but you know, the most pressing questions that the Grand Theft Auto 6 community or just people who are excited for Grand Theft Auto 6 have about the game. So I did promise you guys, what was it, episode 9, that, you know, if you put enough questions, then I would just do, you know, in episode 10, I said, if you do enough questions in episode 10, episode 11, I'll just do an entire episode answering your questions. So that is what we are doing today. And hopefully I get this out on time, and it's Wednesday, which means you were in the middle of the week. So you're probably working, hang in there. Week's almost over. We're at the midway point now. And if you are a member, you might be watching this Tuesday night, because I'm hoping to have it out tonight as I am recording it. I'm sorry, guys. I am a little bad on the releases right now, just with everything going on. But that will change. So if you're a member, you should get early access to a lot of stuff here coming in the future. But anyways, I greatly, I cannot express how much I really appreciate the support from my 43 members. Thank you guys so freaking much. And to all of you for listening. So I'm rambling a lot. So let's get into this. And right now I'm going to go ahead and pull up some gameplay. This is Starfield. Yeah, but you know what? Starfield with like 200 plus mods actually becomes good. It becomes space capitalism. And it's awesome. And you'll see that I'm going to die a lot because I'm stupid and play with mods where if you get shot once, you're dead. So that's what's playing for gameplay today. And I wanted to open this up with a promise. So Smelly Doge, I forget the initial comment you left, but I just told you when I get back, remind me to talk to you about Truckstop Billy. And you did. You said Truckstop Billy ... So 4 dots. So an ellipses and a period. So I'm going to have to talk about Truckstop Billy. So you people are like, who the hell's Truckstop Billy? Well, anyways, I don't know why I brought it up or why I said, I talk about it. I think it's because I said I had crazy stories or whatever. But a long time ago, I used to play in a metal band, and we would travel around in a bus. And it was basically like a railroad workers bus that was converted into like a tour bus. Our vocalist, his dad owned a property, or not a property company, he owned a paving company, poured concrete, all that kind of stuff. And he had this bus and he converted it, welded, did all sorts of crazy stuff, had his workers work on it and stuff. They made bunk beds. We had a thing on the back for a generator. We had an AC unit that we install in the window. In fact, one of my members is Justin and another is Vince, and you both were on this bus when we met Truckstop Billy, I believe. So yeah, y'all were. So anyways, Truckstop Billy is like, we were basically at a love station in between playing shows. And we woke up to this man just forcing our door open and walking up the steps onto our bus while we were all sleeping in our bunks. And he just said, "Hey, come meet grandma." And we were just absolutely so confused as to what he meant by come meet grandma. We were like, what's going on? Also, I was like, who is this guy? Is he going to kill us or whatever? He was really like stringy, but like muscular, like that kind of build to where it looks like this dude knows how to throw down or whatever. He had long black hair and like really intense features. And you could tell he'd just been out in the sun a lot, right? So anyways, this guy comes on our bus and tells us to come meet grandma. He wakes us up and we are just so confused. And he takes us outside and shows us this motorcycle. So we think that, okay, this motorcycle must be grandma maybe. And he's just talking about it. We're all half asleep. We're like, is this guy going to, shank us? What's going on? So we're just talking to him. Okay. And it was so bizarre, right? Like just being woken up like that. But then he takes us over to this flatbed trailer, and underneath is this big woman who's hunched under there with like a TV, with like hooked up to some generator and stuff. They made it into a living space to stay out of the rain. And he told us all actually that they had been living at this truck stop for months, and there was some reason why, like he would get in trouble if he went somewhere or something like that, some sort of legal thing. I don't really know, but he was stuck there and they were living under this flatbed trailer. And he told us that we would one day have to tell the tale of Truckstop Billy and to write a song about him. So I still have yet to actually finalize that song and put it out about him. But, the dude was a freaking legend. So I just thought I would, tell you guys about that. Because yes, a lot of weird things like that happened on that summer tour. It was kind of like a spiritual journey. It was really freaking crazy how that all kind of played out. It was nuts. There's just a bunch of weird random stuff like that. But he was cool and we left him there. And, I wonder where he is. I wonder if he's okay. So anyways, yeah. So that is the story of Truckstop Billy, sort of. Maybe a little underwhelming, but I will say that the lady living under the flatbed was interesting. Oh, and he did say Grandma has big titties. And he kept telling you, Grandma has big titties. See, look. He was an interesting individual. He was really sweet, though. And he did try to offer some whiskey and stuff like that. But anyways, Justin knows all about this, and so does Vince, because that guy woke us up. And I don't know. Just a bunch of crazy stuff like that. There's more stories too. Jaybird is a whole nother, but I've been wasting y'all's time enough. In fact, I think that's probably the crazier one, but whatever. Let's get into your questions, okay? All right, our first question comes from Ramiel Sulami. I think I said that right. 5469. And your question was, do you think PC gamers can avoid spoilers until they get a PC port? How long do you think the wait would be? Good luck avoiding spoilers, especially if it has an ending like Red Dead Redemption 2 or something like that. Like, just avoid all social media if you really are dead set on waiting for the PC release. Otherwise, you're going to have it spoiled for you. It's like, the whole Dumbledore dies at the end if you were back, with the whole Harry Potter craze, if you're part of that. Some spoilers are impossible to avoid if they have a big enough cultural impact. And it's one of those things to where, the community kind of wants to all experience it together. And I think Rockstar knows this. I mean, of course they do, right? They know how big their game is. They know. So that's why I think, other than just the obvious double dip, they know so many people like me are going to buy a console to play Grand Theft Auto 6 before it ever does come to PC, is because I want to be a part of the experience with all of you. And I'm still saving for it. But it's going to be a blast, to go through it all together, talk with you guys all about it together, just go through the release. Even if the game totally sucks, it's going to be a communal experience. So I think you're really missing out on that. It does suck that it's kind of like you're gate kept or whatever out of it, priced out of it by having to buy a PS5 or an Xbox, whatever, to be a part of the initial communal experience. I really do wish they had it at PC on launch, but I do understand from a business standpoint why they don't. So I'll say good luck avoiding spoilers, okay? Unless you just go live on a remote island or something like that. As far as the wait, you're probably looking at a year minimum. It could be longer, but I would say probably about a year until a PC release. They're going to get it launched on the PS5. They're going to get online going. And then who knows, eventually we'll get the next console announcements. The PC port will come out, and then it'll come out on the next consoles. We'll get a whole nother upgraded Grand Theft Auto 6, new and improved, enhanced edition, whatever. And that'll come out, and then there will be a version of that for PC. So they'll triple, quadruple dip this game. It's going to be absolutely insane how many times they do that. So we'll see. But good luck avoiding spoilers. And I think you're looking at about a year wait if you are dead set on waiting for the PC. And now we have Hawks fan Matt Man, and I love saying your name. And you said, question, can't remember if you've covered this yet or not, but I'm curious what you think the future of Rockstar will be a few years down the line after Grand Theft Auto 6 drops. I've seen a few people theorize that Grand Theft Auto 7 would more likely be an expansion of 6's map with a new story, location, and characters versus the way we think of the game releases now. What say you? Well, I say this. I say that could very well be the possibility. And here's the thing. Nothing's set in stone. Nothing's written down for this future yet. For something like this, the people who are creating Grand Theft Auto 6, and even guys like Strauss Zelnick, right? They don't really know maybe 100% what they're going to do. I'm sure they have ideas and I'm sure they have plans, but nothing is 100% concrete yet, right? And here I am over here nothing's 100% concrete until you have the controller in your hand for Grand Theft Auto 7. Here we go. Let's start the hype videos and keep the channel alive, right? But that could very well be the next step. And unless there is some sort of improvement in AI, which it's looking like there's going to be, especially with stuff like this new NVIDIA DLSS stuff, AI technology, by the time Grand Theft Auto 7 comes out, is going to be beyond what we know it now. And I think we are going to be out of this phase of hating it. And then also we're going to maybe stop using it so inappropriately. That might be an optimistic take. But it'll be more put to use where it should be put to use in order to take us to the next level. I think games have kind of petered out, not really petered out, but we're hitting the limitations on what we can really do with games with what we have for technology that's available to consumers. So you being a consumer, we're all consumers, that changed. We used to be citizens, now we're consumers. So basically, what you're looking at is whatever makes sense for them is what they're going to do. So if think how long it took to make Grand Theft Auto 6. I have a video about this. I do, how this will be the end of Rockstar as we know it, because I do think that they are going to change their business model dramatically after this. But I just don't see how they couldn't. I could be wrong, but I swear that is what they're going to do. like once you have Grand Theft Auto 6 out and they have the online, I think that's kind of where they're going to, see what they're going to do to pivot. If Grand Theft Auto 6's online is absolutely just massive and it's bigger than 5's, we're going to see probably something like you're saying, to where the next game, Grand Theft Auto 7, is just an implementation into it, and maybe some sort of weird hybrid online thing that works for people who do like their single player experience, but also is, tangled up a little bit more in the online world. We might even see that with Grand Theft Auto 6. Grand Theft Auto 5 wasn't too far from that. If you remember, if you go down to the weapon wheel and you hit the wrong button, basically if you press down on the D-pad when you open up, not the weapon wheel, the character selection, you hit the wrong character, then all of a sudden it pops up at the online screen, and it's really annoying. But anyways, so there will be some sort of implementation like that. Now, other than Grand Theft Auto 7, I do think what we're going to see is a bunch of map implementations as online, if online makes a lot of money. And I think it is going to make a lot of money. So what do I mean by that? Well, new locations, of course, many more new locations, even a return of major cities like Liberty City, something like that. Now, a lot of people think that's crazy. And, I understand why you think that, but they have the Grand Theft Auto 4 map from, Grand Theft Auto 4. And yeah, they couldn't just port it in and it would work, but you have like a lot of what you need already done. And then we know that Rockstar does AI upscaling and stuff with textures. They did with Grove Street Games or whatever. I'm not saying they would do that necessarily with Grand Theft Auto 4 with everything, but in certain cases they could, like with bricks and stuff like that. And then, then you need to have your windows carved out for the parallax mapping to create the illusion of a 3D space. So there is work that they would need to do, but really they have a lot of it done. So they could port these assets in, especially if there's big money behind it, and then fill it up with quests or missions or whatever. So I say quests because I've been playing Starfield. I'm sorry. I think it's missions in that, but whatever. You get it. It's a Bethesda game. So anyways, to answer your question, yes, I think that in Grand Theft Auto 7, it'll be more like an expansion of 6's map with a new story, location, and characters. If Grand Theft Auto 6's online becomes the biggest, baddest thing ever. And it very well could be. And it's looking like it will be. Hopefully not. But the future of games, guys, as we know it, is going to change dramatically in the next few years. Everything you know is going to change for better or worse in the coming years. So do with that what you will. We are at a point of no return now with artificial intelligence. We are moving really fast. Either it's going to destroy us or make us great. So we'll see. Or realistically, I guess somewhere in between, with certain things being destroyed like art and, and I hope it improves art though. I don't know. I feel the thing with AI is complicated. I don't know. What do you guys feel about AI? You guys hate it? So let's see. So we just answered your question on Grand Theft Auto 7. It looks like there's actually many more questions below this. Jesus, guys, what did y'all do? All right, well, I scrolled all the way down. So we're just going to start again with these guys and work our way back up. Good Lord, the questions. There's so many. More keep loading in. More keep populating. Wow. Okay. Now we have Tritium 1628. First of all, these videos are so nice. Your voice is very soothing and relaxing. Thank you, man. I hate my voice, but I think everyone hates their own voice. And you've helped me through some stuff. Don't ever stop making your content. It's so refreshing for a channel on YouTube. I hope you make it big. Me too, man. Thank you. How do you think Rockstar will implement gun or bomb sounds? Grand Theft Auto 5 sounds are just so lush and they take away a lot of the immersion. If I'm being honest, it kind of ruined the game for me. Since Florida, Leonida is now an open carry state, do you think they will change some key aspects of the game compared to Red Dead Redemption 2 or Grand Theft Auto 5? In Grand Theft Auto 5, you would basically get arrested for having a gun out in front of a cop. In Red Dead Redemption 2, you would only get some verbal condemnations. Do you think we might see other NPCs, maybe even redneck type ones, that would be very cool, open carrying? And if they notice a crime, they might, depending on their emotional nodes, intervene or try to help the cops out or something. That is an outstanding question. A lot of good stuff there. So yes, it's an open carry state. So I live in Texas, and we are also an open carry state, and you cannot walk around with a pistol in your hands. That would be brandishing a gun. You can't do that. Now, you can walk around with a rifle in your arms. You can do that, but you cannot do it with a handgun. You can wear it on your hip, even though there's absolutely zero tactical advantage to that. All that really is used for is to intimidate protesters. But really what it does is it makes you a target, because then someone can come up behind you and pull your firearm from your holster, even if you have some sort of locking mechanism. There's so many videos of this happening and idiots getting shot in convenience stores because of this. So prepare to see random events and stuff like that. But I bet we'll see stuff like that in Grand Theft Auto 6, honestly. Yeah, you'll see a lot of open carry. But yeah, still, if you put the guns in your hands and you're carrying it, you still might get some weirdness with the cops. It's a little dicey with the rifle stuff. Like, I can't really just take my AR and walk to 7-Eleven or something like that. Like, I could, but you don't know what's going to happen. You would be drawing a lot of unnecessary, unwanted attention that could get the cops called on you, and it could be very bad. So, you're going to see a lot of that. I think that you will see more lax gun behavior. Remember in Grand Theft Auto 4, there was a gun ban, so you're not even allowed to have guns. Grand Theft Auto 5, you're of course in Los Angeles, so the gun stuff's a little dicey there. And then, now you're in a very gun-free place. So yeah, I think it'll be a lot more closer to Red Dead Redemption 2, but it is still illegal to, whip out a gun, mainly a handgun, and brandish it and carry it around or whatever like that. You're only supposed to draw it if you intend to use it in self-defense of yourself or others to prevent serious bodily injury or death to either you or a third party. So yeah. And Texas and Florida's gun laws are very similar. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but I know a lot of lawyers. So just, take that for what it's worth and look into gun laws if you are thinking about carrying. Sorry, I know we got on the topic of carrying, but that's what we're talking about as far as this game. And this is a reflection of our culture. So, you said it kind of ruined the game for you. Yeah, I could see kind of how that would, but I don't know. I like little immersive features like that to where, police react. I hate it in like Starfield. I had to get a mod for this to where if you point a gun at someone or whatever, they react. I've got like this law system mod. Honestly, guys, Starfield with mods, like if Bethesda finished the game, it is the greatest space game of all time. And it is absolutely incredible. And it really does become like space capitalism, the game. It is so much fun to start a business in this game. There's taxes, the banks, all this stuff. Sorry for the Starfield tangent. I'm just telling you, the potential was there for the greatest space game ever. And it needed like 5 more years in the oven. But, especially too, because I realized once you leave the Constellation people, the game actually gets interesting. Like I hated Sarah. I hated Sam Coe. They were just very preachy, but you get away from those characters and the game really opens up. You do that with mods, it's even better. And then I just make them go work for me somewhere and forget about them. So anyways, Starfield tangent, but check it out if you haven't. If you have it on PC, even if you have it on Xbox and stuff, you can do mods and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, I do think we are going to see other NPCs like redneck types and stuff like that, open carrying and getting to all sorts of Florida man, Leonida man shenanigans. That is definitely going to be in this game. I don't see how it couldn't. So we'll see. And yeah, I do think that they'll try and help out the cops and get their good citizen bonus and stuff like that. So if you remember in the original Vice City. So anyways, yeah. Great question. Let me see. Did I answer everything? I think I did. All right. We have a lot of questions, so I'm going to move on. I think I accidentally switched over to video 11. So now we'll go back over to video 10. Unknown hybrid 4496. Question, Andy, there is something in the leaks that no one has been talking about, and I want to show you. Would you like to see it? giving you some content to talk about. Let me know and I'll send you screenshots somehow. Yes, my email, if you go to my About on my YouTube channel, my email's in there. Just send whatever it is over to my email and I'll look at it. You might have already, but if not, go ahead and do that and I'll make sure to take a look at it and we'll go from there. In fact, there's some things where you guys were like, hey, what's up with these little AI clips and stuff like that? And it's like, oh, well, so I thought someone had made them for me and sent them to me. That's how I got them, is through emails. So I started using them, like the animated screenshots, but y'all didn't like that. But yeah, if you guys send me stuff, to use in videos, I'll typically use it, but I don't check it very often. I need to get better about that. Last time I checked the email is when Matthew won the PlayStation 5. So anyways, yeah, send it over. Now we have... how do I say your name? I'm sorry, I'm just going to break it down to chunks because I can't pronounce anything. Yacht Hat Ist Hat Trip. Okay, I obliterated that name. You can correct me in the comments. Anyways, question: do you think there will be crossplay when Grand Theft Auto 6? Yes, Grand Theft Auto 6 releases between Xbox and PlayStation, and further along, will they allow crossplay with consoles? Yes, of course. That's the future. Everything connected under one roof. That is where the money's at. You really want all your community together in one pool. And their anti-cheat stuff is insane. So, I mean, of course, there's still going to be cheaters. I remember in Grand Theft Auto 5 online, there was like a Chinese guy or something who spawned in and like generated a bunch of action figures and then gave me a bunch of money. And that can get people banned. So anyways, yes, I do think we are going to see that level of crossplay with Grand Theft Auto 6. All right, now we have Jordan Enrique, 7335. How much immersion is too much for most people until they won't like it? I think Red Dead Redemption 2 is kind of a good, way to look at it. A lot of people who aren't into like immersion elements and stuff look past it and enjoyed the game still, while people who loved immersion aspects like me, who really love it, absolutely loved it and wanted more of it. So I think that that's kind of a good mix. I think it could have been done a little differently with certain things. Just allowing interactivity more with your environment would make it a lot more optional for immersion to exist while also not burdening players who don't really care for it. Like, for instance, in Red Dead Redemption 1, you can go up and order a shot of whiskey for absolutely no reason. You can just do it in Armadillo. And then, of course, you can drink in Red Dead Redemption 2. You don't have to do any of that. There's a lot of stuff that's optional. But there are things that aren't, like actually having to pick up items and stuff like that are a little slower that some people didn't like. But personally, I did. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a slow burn for a while until it ramps up. And I liked it. And when the action hits, it freaking hits. So, it works. Now, as far as too much immersion, probably when you start getting into like mods is when you see that level of stuff. I don't think we're ever going to see that from a Rockstar perspective. That would be stuff like, for instance, if you get shot, now you have a wound. You have to treat it with like 3 different things. And, it's very realistic and you need a long time to recover. And 1 shot, 2 shots kill you, something like that. Body armor actually works like it really does. Like in Grand Theft Auto, it basically makes you invincible until it runs out. Because, it just becomes another health bar. In real life, you're lucky if it stops around. And even if you have level 4 plate or whatever, you get shot enough, you're going to die. And it's not going to be very many shots. Like you can probably take 4 or 5 rounds to the chest in relatively the same spot before something starts to get through or something's like breaking your ribs or, messing with your lungs, stuff like that. So I don't think we'll see that level of immersion, but allowing for just more interactable things. Like a big thing for me is the ability to just sit in a chair. If there's an area that looks like I could naturally sit in real life, have a little prompt there and let me just sit down. Things like that. Because sometimes I like to do that and then look through the menus and figure out what I'm doing. I really think that there's not really too much immersion. I think that there's too much stuff that gets in the way of the player being immersed in the game for the sake of creating immersion. What do I mean by that? Say you're picking up a can of beans in Red Dead Redemption 2. For me, I think the pacing's fine. I pick up a can of beans a little faster than Arthur in real life, but maybe you don't. Maybe you pick it up the same speed. But if you're someone who doesn't like immersion in games and you pick up that can, the game's to go real slow, like you're there to just play the game, shoot stuff, move on and get the story going. And, you pick up this can of beans and it's very slow and you're like, oh, well, that's getting in the way of your immersion. You would be more immersed if you didn't have to pick up this can of beans in a realistic way. You see what I'm saying? Everyone experiences games differently, and what creates immersion for you is going to be different for other people. For me, it's being able to reach out and touch the world and interact with it in ways that you could in real life. For you, it might be just breezing through the story and you feel immersed in that world. And, that's just your way of doing it. The less menus that have to pop up, the more intuitive things feel, the smoother those things feel, the better. And that's where people will be like, this game's great. Too much immersion would be like DayZ, to where there's a huge learning curve or something like that. We're not going to see anything like that. So don't worry about it. I think that we have already reached a point where if you go like on an old school style killing spree in Grand Theft Auto, like in Vice City and San Andreas, it was just goofy and fun. But in these later games, like in Red Dead Redemption 2, you feel evil. Like if you go and do that stuff, you're like, good God, this is horrible. These poor people. So just wait until Grand Theft Auto 6. It's going to be, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think too much immersion would be if we were getting into stuff that's, not appropriate for us to experience in an entertainment realm. But I'm also very much against censorship. So I don't know. I don't think there really is too much, to be honest, unless it gets in the way of my enjoyment of the game and your enjoyment of the game. So yeah. Good Lord. See, I can ramble so much on questions, and guys, there's so many, so I got to keep going. All right, now we got Jaden 1076. In Grand Theft Auto 5 trailers, we also saw people hitting the gym on the beach, and it never made the final game. So is everyone okay? Well, look, the difference is there's Jason hitting the bench press. It wasn't Michael. You just saw like NPCs and stuff doing it. We saw Jason on the bench press with his AirPods in. You're going to be able to use the workout equipment in the game. If you saw a main character doing it, the likelihood of you being able to interact with it goes through the roof. So, and I think they showed off a ton of gameplay systems just like that. I don't know why they wouldn't allow you to do it. It's not like it would be very difficult. You got to remember, Grand Theft Auto 5 had to take a lot of content out to one, fit on the discs, and two, just to run on the hardware of the time. This time, I don't think we've seen the PlayStation 5's hardware utilized as effectively as it could be. And we know with these AI optimization, strategies and stuff like that, things I've talked about in the past that are going into Grand Theft Auto 6 and how it's going to talk and speak to this hardware, we know that it should be able to run and stuff like that. So what I'm saying is the difference is who is doing it. Okay. And I feel like Grand Theft Auto 5 did live up to the promises we saw in the trailer. Maybe not directly, but it promised a big, amazing open world. And that's exactly what we got. Now, yeah, you're going to be able to work out though. You were able to do yoga in Grand Theft Auto 5, And so if you see the main characters doing something in the trailer, you're probably going to be able to do it. So, all right. What do we got next? Now we have Blood Drop V8D. Question, will you play Grand Theft Auto 6 when it drops? Yeah, absolutely. Then we have Ant Urak 7905. Do you think we'll get a relationship meter in online? Our online character can have relationships with other NPCs. I think it's likely since they went, for more role play, but who knows? I don't know about that. I think in the main story, we'll see something like that. I think Rockstar is more focused on the immersion of like running businesses and stuff like that, and existing in their worlds rather than it being like, live another life, to where you have relationships and stuff like that. You got to remember, first and foremost, this is not a life replacement game. There are games that are built to be that. This is a game that's about running a criminal empire. This is a crime game. So if there is something like that, it would be secondary. I wouldn't expect it personally, but who knows? Anything's up for, anything could happen. I mean, if there's a big enough demand for it, or, if at Rockstar, they might decide to do something like that. They did put in dating and stuff like that in San Andreas and then 4, So romance is an aspect that they're interested in. That's a good question. I don't know, is all I can really tell you. I don't think so, though. At least not initially. Now we have Epileptic Gamer 7. What is up, Epileptic Gamer? I love you, man. Red Dead Redemption 3, if they ever make it. I think they can also do another prequel on the story of how the gang started, playing as a young teenage Arthur up to his mid-20s or whatever, and showing you how everything really began. That to me sounds a whole lot better than continuing with Jack, because we all know how Jack got his revenge, and that was great. But bringing back Arthur and how everything began would answer so many questions that we saw in Red Dead Redemption 2. I think that, did you start with Red Dead Redemption 2? Because if you started with Red Dead Redemption 1, I don't think that's what you'd want. But that's just what I think. I think we're good on Arthur. And honestly, I think we're good on Red Dead Redemption. I think the next Red Dead they do should be Red Dead something else. Anything else, really. because it's complete. We had the full arc and everything like that. So I don't know. I personally would love an early 20s Grand Theft Auto style game, open world game. I would love it from Rockstar. It would be great. And I think that the Red Dead Redemption universe, if they were going to use that as a vehicle for that, I think it could work if they wanted to give us a player we knew. But I don't think it's absolutely necessary. And I think if they do go a Red Dead route again, I don't know, it's always about like the West dying and stuff. And it's like, y'all forget, man, there's people doing cowboy stuff like well into the 30s and even the 40s. I grew up in Texas and, I got a lot of stuff with my family, pictures and stuff in the past. And there's a lot of Red Dead stuff that was going on well into the century, the middle of it until World War II. Even World War II is kind of what got this country to just bam, 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 bam. And then you have that rapid building of houses, and then civilization really took over in like the 50s and became nuclear America as we know it today. And that's really what kind of set up the way that we think about the country today, with suburbs and all that kind of stuff, and the Wild West being completely gone. And in the 50s, they're fresh off of all this stuff. So they're watching all these Westerns and stuff like that. And that's why the cowboy stuff was so big. Until you enter the 60s, then you have the space stuff. Bam. Anyways, I don't know why people hate on the whole like Jack World War I thing. He doesn't have to go to World War I. I'm just saying that in the early 1900s, there's still plenty of stuff there to explore that would blow you away. I don't know why people are so against that. Why? I don't get it. You can still be a cowboy in the 1920s, okay? Believe it or not. I mean, hell, you're being a cowboy in Red Dead Redemption in 1910. Okay, so it's doable. All right. Now we have question. Drew Oliveras 97. What's up, dude? Something. No. Wait. Hold on. I'll get to you. We skipped over Max Guy, and I'm not going to get back to him if I don't answer it now. So we have Max Guy. Question 1. Grand Theft Auto 5 had a massive dead zone of Los Santos, which seemed like such a waste of potential, especially online. What ways do you think Rockstar could go to avoid making the same mistake here? And then, okay, I'll start with your first question. Well, just by creating a deeper and richer world with more depth. The problem with Grand Theft Auto 5 is it was too big for its britches and too big for the hardware. And, they knew what would hit, and those are the things that they focused on, like the things that would really work well for the community, the things people would really interact with and play. And that's what they did. Now, as far as it having dead space and stuff like that, I personally don't think we're going to see that kind of stuff in Grand Theft Auto 6. Maybe a little, because it is huge. But in the way that feels good, like where you should feel isolated and alone, like out in the sticks. But I don't think the city is going to feel like that. I think it is going to feel nice and dense. You said outside of Los Santos. Well, yeah. Also, they couldn't put a lot of trees or wildlife and stuff like that. I would expect it to feel a lot closer to Red Dead Redemption 2 when you're out in the sticks than Grand Theft Auto 5. Because Red Dead Redemption 1's wilderness felt great. And I remember thinking, oh, snap, that's going to be in 5. And it wasn't. And that was because of hardware limitations that don't seem to really be as big of a problem this time. So we'll see. Question 2, moving away from Grand Theft Auto 6, do you think the work Rockstar, having been putting into water physics, that they could be gearing up for a pirate game? Personally, I would prefer another Red Dead, maybe following the Callaway gang or Native American tribe in the height of the Wild West. Maybe change redemption to retribution, just spitballing. I think they need to personally just get away from the redemption thing. Everyone's so split on what they want, and it's already kind of a complete thing. Let's move on from Red Dead Redemption. Okay. I'm glad we all loved it so much that we are very like, no, it must go this way. Don't do that. It would ruin it. That means we all loved it. And that's good. And I'm glad we all have that shared love of the game. But they were going to do a medieval game, but I think it got canceled. But, I don't know about a pirate game. Why not? Everything at this point would just be speculation and just be me telling you what I think. I don't think that there's going to be a pirate game, but I hope I'm wrong. I would love a pirate game by Rockstar. But here's what I do think. I think Rockstar, after this game, needs to get away from Grand Theft Auto, needs to get away from Red Dead Redemption, needs to get away from all of that and either do a new IP or revisit one that they haven't done in a very long time, like Manhunt. Which wouldn't make them nearly as much money. I don't even know if you can make Manhunt today. Bully 2, that would be great. But, they'll probably go for something else. And a lot of their games, too, are American culture based, and they were a connected universe. Like Bully, Manhunt, San Andreas, Vice City, Grand Theft Auto 3, those were all in the same universe, which is really cool. So I'm hoping to see something like that moving forward. Give us something new in the universe. Give us a new perspective, a new story. They could do anything. We'll see. And the writers have changed, even though a lot of them have been there from the beginning or from, the major beats that you guys know Rockstar from. But also there's just the company culture is going to continue to change. The inevitable march of time will continue to move forward and things are going to change. So really there's no way to know. But a pirate game from Rockstar would be absolutely nuts. And I would love it. That would be so freaking sick. All right. So now Drew Oliveira is 97. I'm getting to you. Something no one has mentioned with any screenshot leak trailer. Do you think Lucia's boxing glove necklace is actually an urn pendant with her father's ashes? Could her father have passed away? Did she leave Liberty City to get away from her past? She never takes it off with any outfit she has on. My wife has a necklace like this for our son that passed and never takes it off either, no matter what the occasion. Hence my theory about her boxing glove necklace. So the Golden Gloves necklace, that she got was probably her father's. I don't know about his ashes being in it, but him being dead is definitely a possibility. And she holds on to it because it's a reminder of her family and who she is and where she's from. And probably he's the one who also taught her how to fight. Yes, she left Liberty City to get away from her past. We don't know the specifics. But yeah, she never takes it off. And I am super sorry to hear about your son. It's horrible. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that's what we're going to be seeing is basically them. Sorry, I got distracted on you talking about your son passing. I'm sorry, man. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, you're pretty much spot on except for the ashes, I think. So, all right, Hawks fan Matt Man. Oh, did I answer you already, or did you put 2 questions? Let's just read it. In regards to the economy of Grand Theft Auto 6 Online, do you think Rockstar will require players to reach a certain rank in order to unlock the ability to purchase particular vehicles, weapons, properties, etc.? As much as I know they want to sell shark cards, I doubt they want players to rack up millions of in-game dollars and immediately buy everything, so then you have to spend $2 million for a Honda Civic. Whew. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I will tell you this. If you make a game that locks things like that behind levels, I hate it. Like, it's perfect, actually. I've been playing Starfield lately because this has been my experience. I'm like, okay, I finally have gotten all of this together through my own personal actions. I have managed to get this many credits together. I've paid the taxes on this, paid the crew fees, gotten the food so that my crew can eat, gotten finally all the credits I can. I will go to the bank, take out a 500,000 credit loan, and then bam, I already have to make an interest payment on it. And now it's time to go start space capitalism, make a big ship fuel business around some sort of planet or whatever that has 5 moons in the Cheyenne system because I keep running out of fuel. Fuel's stupid expensive unless you pay the 5,000 credits to travel with the shuttle systems, but those only take you to the civilized stuff. I'm telling you guys, the modded game, when it all works, it freaking works. But anyways, all of that, all this like in-depth immersion, 4D chess stuff to like create a business. And then finally you get there, you're at the outpost and you're trying to place down a building and it goes, can't place it down. You haven't unlocked outpost engineering, whatever. And I'm like, what? That's so stupid. Like I should be able to do that from the start. I did all of the work to get here. Why can't I do this? That'll just piss players off. So they're going to have to figure out some sort of progression system to keep people coming back. And it's a little different because a lot of what keeps Grand Theft Auto Online going good, other than like the money and the buying things stuff, is the jumping into stuff with your friends, jumping into heists. A new one comes out, jumping into that, new rewards, new stuff, new things, new locations. That is what keeps people coming in. Now, in order to keep them in there longer, add immersion elements, make it a place to really hang out and live and breathe. And you're going to have people and make things expensive, but make it make sense that those things are expensive. And maybe make earning a little bit more realistic. Maybe you earn less instead of they hyperinflate everything. Just make the dollars make sense. But I think locking things behind a progression system or a level system, I don't know. I hate it. And it's very common in MMOs and stuff like that. But in Starfield, every time I've run into that and I'm like, what? I've earned this. What are you talking about? The leveling system in that game is trash though. With the challenges and stuff, it's absolutely abysmal. So anytime I get something, to a point to where it's like, can't do that, I just open up the console and just give myself the perk because fuck that. That's so stupid. But But yeah, I hope we don't run into that in Grand Theft Auto Online, but it will be an online game, and MMOs do stuff like that. And it basically is an MMO. So we'll see. I think the hyperinflation in that setting is kind of inevitable because it happens in every single online game pretty much ever. Now we have Metal Missionary. What's up, Vince? Or Ventus in this universe. Question, will Grand Theft Auto ever let you build a home, etc., like customized? Yeah, I think so. You're able to do interiors in Grand Theft Auto 5, I think, for certain apartments. I could be wrong. You had interior customization, but it was very limited. Now, we haven't seen interior customization like Saints Row 2 or anything like that. If y'all remember that, that was really cool. Even that would look rudimentary by today's standards for things that do offer that customization. But yeah, I think we are going to see in-home customization in, at very least, Grand Theft Auto 6 Online, because that's what they've kind of always been about, is customization. They want, think about it. If you have a customer who's paying you a lot of money, you want them to be able to paint whoever they want to in your world so that they can exist as themselves in your world. You want them to feel like they can be whoever they want in this world. That's what'll keep them back. Buying the shark cards, playing the missions, doing that. Is role play, even if people don't know it and wouldn't call it that. Like, well, I'm not actually showering and eating in the game and stuff. When you're driving around running your little virtual businesses in Grand Theft Auto 5 Online, you're role playing. That's what you're doing. So is what it is. Anyways, yes, I would expect customization for houses and stuff like that. Maybe to not, like the settlement building system in something like Starfield or Fallout 4, but more than what we saw in 5. Now we have Ray Acoustic. What's up, homie? Question, do I presume that Grand Theft Auto 6 will have a lot of business ventures? So I presume that Grand Theft Auto 6 will have a lot of business ventures and just life stuff in it. How do you think Rockstar will make it work with Jason and Lucia being on the run and having heat on them? Do you think that it's going to be something that we will have access to early, mid-game, mid-end, or just in-game only? So just how do you think they're going to make this work? Okay, this is something I've thought about a lot. And I kind of think that it'll work something like this. If you notice in the trailer, when trailer 2, it looks like, Jason wakes up, it's the day of the life, and he goes to get Lucia. You're seeing Jason on different days. And all you have to do is look at his haircut. And you'll see that these are just different things. It's not all one day of him going to get her. So it could open up when we're just Jason for a while, running businesses and stuff like that. I don't think so. I think they are going to want to get us to Lucia pretty quick. But how I see him doing it is this. Because we also get a thing in the trailer 2 to where Brian's telling Jason, like, they got your address, they got this, the police know where you're at, you're going to have to leave. So you're going to be in a location, you're going to do stuff, you're going to have to leave and move to a new location, like in Red Dead Redemption 2. And there you'll be able to set up businesses and stuff. You got to remember, in Red Dead Redemption 2, even though the gang's moving around the map to like evade the Pinkertons or whatever, you can still go back and do stuff, So I would expect it to kind of work like how Red Dead Redemption 2 did it, to where you're moving your camp essentially in Grand Theft Auto 6, that being a motel. So, or whatever it is. Oh, I'm going to get a sip. But yeah, and I think as you move, new business opportunities will open up in different areas of the map that make sense to the region. And you'll, work with what you have there, build up a business, build up as much as you want, come back to it later, that kind of thing. And whoever the post-game character is, if someone has to die or something like that, and you're not Jason and Lucia, would ideally inherit these businesses. And from there, that's where the real business stuff kind of begins. And then they kind of have some gameplay features in there that kind of push you, nudge you a little bit, like, hey, Grand Theft Auto Online, it exists. Come play me. So that's how I see them doing that. Great question. That was something I was actually thinking about in the shower the other night. I think about Grand Theft Auto 6 and the games. Like, you notice that I have a widespread of games I play on here. It's because I've got like scatterbrain with games like, ooh, I play this now. I play this. But games are just too long nowadays. So I beat the first Resident Evil, but jumped into 2 a little too fast. And I was like, I'm a little burnt out on the horror survival thing. So then I've been playing Fallout New Vegas, Grand Theft Auto 5, and I took a break from that to jump back into Starfield. And when I get burnt out on that, it'll be something else, probably RimWorld. So I don't know. But it's all a distraction. It's been porn in my life lately. Like poor. I didn't say the in at the end. I think YouTube might pick it up as that. But it's been a lot going on. So it's kind of the way I forget about things, is thinking about games and stuff like that. Like a lot of you, especially when you're working, you want to get through a shift. When you play a game you really like, and maybe it has some sort of strategy or something, and you're all day you're working, you're just kind of on autopilot, and you're really just thinking about, when I get home, all right, here's what I got to do. You start planning out your work schedule in your game, and you get really excited about it. I love video games, man. It's my favorite passion art form. It's awesome. That was a tangent. All right, so we have TBJR 1127. In Grand Theft Auto 5, there's a train you can hijack. Yes, I think you can in San Andreas as well. Do you think Grand Theft Auto 6 will have one as well? In real life, Florida has the main East Coast Railway that runs north and south on the East Coast. I'm wondering if Leonida will have something similar. Could we take passenger train, yada, yada, or a commercial plane from one city to another, maybe off the cube or something? Thanks, Dandy Andy. Well, thanks for the question, man. Yeah, there's going to be trains in the game, and yeah, I think you're going to be able to ride as a passenger in them, especially because they have the metro and stuff like that in Vice City. So yeah, there's going to be that kind of transportation that you can take. I don't know about hijacking the metro. We'll see. I don't know how that would work because I think for the most part, those are automated, and so I don't think it would really make sense to hijack it. And I think the conductor or whatever who's up front is really just making sure things don't crash. I don't really know how that works, but yeah, I would expect that. I don't know about planes, maybe later with an update if they add new locations, unless they do a Guarma style cutaway, which it seems like they'll do. And I realized that they've kind of fallen in love with this since Grand Theft Auto 5 when you return to North Yankton, and then that's kind of like your Guarma. And then San Andreas, you go to Liberty City. I'm sure there's more examples. But they like to take the character out of that location for a little bit and put you somewhere else and then bring you back in. And Red Dead Redemption 2, of course, with Guarma. So if they do it with Cuba or something like that, watch you go to Guarma again or Tahiti. I don't know. It'd be pretty funny. But yeah, if there's something like that, I would expect there to be planes, commercial travel. And since this is the biggest, baddest Grand Theft Auto they've ever done, they need to put all the features in from all the previous Grand Theft Autos. This is it. This is the time, Rockstar. All of the features. Everything that you've ever put in, now's the time. All of it must be in Grand Theft Auto 6. Great question. HCL XXSYCO. Question. After trailer 3 and you get in real life stuff taken care of, can you please... after trailer 3 and I get my shit taken care of, can you please do a video on crimes in the game and jail time? And do you think we will be able to kick in a door and rob random houses? But also my thoughts on crime. I think if I robbed a store and get caught in, say, real life, it has 3-year jail time. When I would love to see the game. Okay, so you want a jail system, you want a robbery system. You have an idea on how these systems would work. And you could work out in jail, get stronger. Okay, maybe a breakout. I don't know. I don't think we're going to see anything like that. I think for what we're going to see is really just, what we've always seen. Busted, and then you spawn at a police station. Maybe it's like a cutscene or two now, especially if there's like a lawyer in the game, something like that. That's about it. I don't think anything like that. The only game I think that had the most advanced busted thing was ironically the first Vice City, when you'd hear, what was his name? Rosenberg. Was it Rosenberg? But anyways, he would say, Tommy Vercetti is an innocent man, and then you would come out and it was cool, something like that. So I don't think we're going to see the old jail system. I would love to, maybe not for single player unless it like works as part of the story, but I would love to see it in online. And I think that is where it would be better served. So yeah, I think after trailer 3, yeah, I do have it on my list to do videos on crimes and stuff like that and more stuff and features and all that that'll be open to us. So yeah, great question and comment. All right. Now we have Big Germworm. What's up, man? Question. I doubt this will ever happen, but how would you feel about a Grand Theft Auto set in Texas? Dude, Galveston, Houston, Metroplex plus countryside, open up to Dallas-Fort Worth area. I think it would be sick. Dude, me too. I don't know what they are sleeping, dude. Like, yeah, like you could do like Chicago or Atlanta, whatever. But come to Texas, Grand Theft Auto. Come on down, y'all. We need you down here. We got plenty to mock down here, okay? And there is a wide variety in Texas. I mean, they did in Red Dead Redemption with New Austin, that's Texas. And so you did get to see all the different biomes of Texas, sort of, not really. Texas has a lot of biomes though. To the east, you got the trees. In the DFW area, you have the rolling hills that pour on down to the south into San Antonio where they get more bumpier and tropical. You move to the east, you got the nice coast. You move down southeast, or really southwest, you start getting your western flair. You move hard west in Texas and you get your good old Texas Western. You move up to the Panhandle and, well, there's no reason to go to the Panhandle. Just don't. Who needs to go to the Panhandle? But what I'm saying is, yes, we need a Grand Theft Auto in Texas, man. Man, that would rock. That's what we need, y'all. They're sleeping. Are they scared to come to Texas and do the research to make the game? What is it with people's aversion to making games in Texas? This is a great place for a game, man. Do a Fallout in Texas. There's supposed to be a Brotherhood chapter in Texas, and there's supposed to be these big radioactive tornadoes. Dude, Texas has it going on. Come on. And imagine in a game like Fallout, you could do some crazy freaking Alamo defense thing against robots and stuff. It would be hysterical. So yes, we need a Texas Grand Theft Auto. And I've been saying this for years. My buddy's been saying this for years. There's so much you could do in Texas. There is so much. And if you don't live here, you probably don't know, but there's a lot you can do here. You could get your Red Dead Grand Theft Auto fix in Texas. It would be the perfect game, I think. So yes, Big Germworm, fist bump. We are in the same line of thinking here. All right. Now we have Big Bash 8011. What's up, homie? Hey, Andy, question. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. Do you think the Elder Scrolls 6 will ever come out, considering how long it's been since the announcements, or have you completely given up on it? Another question. Do you think, well, yeah, it's going to come out. I just think they put the teaser way too early. Another question. Do you think Grand Theft Auto 6 will have podcasts in the game that parody all the alpha male? Yes, I do. I do think they are going to have the alpha male red pill podcast stuff in there. That is for sure going to be in there. And they've been mocking the stuff since, Grand Theft Auto 4 and even before that. But you remember the men's room? Yeah, dude. Yeah, of course they are. I wonder who's going to play Andrew Tate in Grand Theft Auto. They make fun of cultural trends. Remember, you blow off Mark Zuckerberg's head in Grand Theft Auto 5, basically, for the first Lester mission you do. So yeah, we're going to have our red pill Leonidas males and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be funny as fuck. And then lastly, will you do a playthrough of Grand Theft Auto 6 when it comes out? Or will you play the game on your own time and then make a review of it? Great podcast as usual, and may you have the most blessed day. Well, man, God bless you. Thank you so much. I'll probably play it alone, but I'll probably also play, I'll have probably 2 playthroughs running at the same time. Because if I play the games the way that I personally like to play the games, y'all are going to be bored to death. I'm going to be sitting down everywhere. It's time to go eat. What time is it? I live out the days in my Grand Theft Auto games. In Grand Theft Auto 4, there's days where no crime happens. It's just hanging out with friends, doing small things, running the cab. That's it. And I love it. I love living in that world because I feel like I'm interacting in a TV show, and then it makes the stuff that happens later feel just much more intense. I think if I do a playthrough with y'all, and there's going to be so many big YouTubers doing it. I don't even know why y'all would bother with me. But if you do, I'll do a separate playthrough for y'all and I won't be so slow going through it. Also, I'll have the knowledge of my personal playthrough to know what to do in the game to not slow it down and, to make it a little bit more interesting. And maybe that would be cool for some of y'all, we talked about earlier, who don't have a console don't have a console and you only have PC. Maybe that's going to be the way you experience the game. And that sucks, or maybe that's just the way you like to experience games. It was a little side tangent here. Are you guys into Resident Evil? Because if you're not, and if you are, you know about this, but there's all these people who are Resident Evil fans, but they've never played the games. And I don't understand it. And if you go to the Resident Evil Reddit, they argue about this. Are you a fan if you've never, done it? And it's really weird. I'm how can you be a fan of a game if you don't play it? I'm not judging. That's just what I think. It's just kind of funny. It's kind of weird. Maybe it's because there's so many Resident Evils and they cost a lot of money, and there's ways to engage with it. But don't be afraid, by the way. Go play Resident Evils. They're awesome. And they're not that scary. They're just a good time. I think the scariest game of all time is The Forest. But yeah. I got lost in the weeds here. Yes, I'll do a playthrough of Grand Theft Auto 6. And for those of you who want to watch, I'll have it here. Now we got Crazy Hazy question. I don't know if this fits in the question section, but could you share what mods you're using for Grand Theft Auto 5 playthrough? I'd love to experience it the way you are. I did share them on another comment. But yes, I will do that for y'all. So if you give me a little bit, you'll probably hear some typing in the background. Here we go. And on my recommendations, it popped up with that scene from, what was it? I don't know. It's that Denzel Washington scene where he shoots Idris Elba. Was it American Gangster? Freaking love that movie. Okay. You want the mods. I got you on the mods, my friend. And I got you all on the mods because I want you guys to know what I play Grand Theft Auto 5 with, because I really think that you will like it if you're on PC. Okay. So I'm going to copy and paste this to you. And I'm going to read it for everybody so they kind of know what's up. And I'll show you how to make Grand Theft Auto 5 a much, much, much better game. So let's see where you at here. We got them. There you are. I'm already losing track. There's so many questions. Y'all did such a fantastic job giving me questions for these. Too good of a job. All right. So, I responded to you. And so the mods, basically just basic engine improvements. So heap adjuster helps with a lot of mods. There's like all these different script hooks you need. So I put it on here. You need script hook 5.net enhanced. Also, this is all on the Grand Theft Auto 5 legacy version because there's more mods for that version. And the difference between that and enhanced ain't worth it. And there ain't really that much of a difference, except for like graphics and a few minor things. But really not that big of a difference. Also, I'm playing on a ROG Ally X. All right, and then another script hook, then another script hook from different things. You guys can check the reply to XX Crazy Hazy XX or the reply to B Mars Jishafin. I mean, I cannot pronounce any of your names, but I have a list of it here. Also, native UI. And then gameplay fixes 5. Combat, this is like the big one. My biggest gripe with 5, I think, was the combat, other than the story, but there's no mods that can fix that. But the story is a lot more serviceable when I like the gameplay. Even if it's not my favorite still, I am having a much better time in Grand Theft Auto 5. First off, Blood of the Fallen adds a bunch of blood. Dismemberment, do not use the paid version. It's dog shit. I would not pay that guy. It's cool that he did what he did and he should make money off of it and stuff, but I don't remember. I ran into something that was very obnoxious because of a stupid mod. Oh, you have to always be online to activate his dumb mod or it disables it and this colorful thing pops up in your game. Don't pay that guy a cent. Just go download the free version. Persistent weapon flashlight, so basically in the game your flashlight only shows up when you aim. So it fixes that. Live leak death sounds. I don't know if these are real or not, but this adds like death sounds to the game that are horrifying. So when you shoot people, it's horrifying, like it should be. Better weapon effects, bullet hit effects, that kind of stuff. I think I put bullet fit effects, my bad. Does what it says on the tin. Things look better when you shoot them. It looks much more like what you'd expect from a game today. Accuracy fix, people don't have laser pinpoint accuracy anymore. They shoot like real people. Realistic bullet penetration, you could shoot through cover, so yeah. In real life, bullets travel through things, especially that's what FMJ rounds are for. The standard full jacketed round, that's what it does, is it moves through things. So like a car, you could shoot through cars like stupid easily. Cars are Swiss cheese in real life. They don't protect you at all. Cops don't hide behind the doors. You might get some cover behind the engine block, but that's about it. So realistic bullet penetration, NPC style cover animations, just makes your animations a little different. Kill cam, really recommend that one. Like sometimes you'll get slow motion kill cam stuff. It's really cool. I Want Max Payne. That's also really cool. Highly recommend I Want Max Payne because you can, as Michael, like dive out and then like shoot like you can in Max Payne, and it really works for his character. And Michael is basically a copy paste of a Max Payne from the Max Payne games, from the one that they did right before Grand Theft Auto 5. Even what he wears. Damage effects just makes your screen turn red the more damage you take. Gun recoil just makes it where your guns have recoil because they don't in 5. Immersive combat modified does what it says on the tin, just more immersive combat. New death sounds, even more death sounds. Screaming injured peds. When they're bleeding out, they'll like be screaming in horrible ways. Because the screaming in 5 is a little cartoonish. Disable hit marker. Does what it says. I think hit markers are dumb. Gets rid of it. Realistic gun sounds. The guns actually go pow now instead of ped damage overhaul. I think. No, I think I got rid of that because it conflicted with like everything else. Realistic epic explosions. Does what it says. Now in immersion, I have hide in dumpsters. So you can hide in dumpsters to escape the police. Ambient effects, I forget what it does, but it's something worth downloading. Euphoria Ragdoll Overhaul, what it says. Better chases, makes the police chases a lot more interesting in 5, like way better. Basically, like when something happens and someone calls the cops, you have time before the squad cars show up. And the longer you evade them, the more cops come after you, like would be in real life, which is cooler, but you can still get away and stuff like that. Car alarms on explosions. Basically, if like you have an explosion in the street, the cars around it will have their car alarms go off. It's really cool. Shoot driver. When you're hijacking a car in the middle of the animation, you can press R2 and shoot the driver. Stance 1.2. I already forgot what that did. Vehicle improvements, dents and scratches. Does what it says. The dents and scratches on vehicles look better. And Drive 5. And Drive 5 is amazing. It makes it handle like Grand Theft Auto 4. And even better, I think, in certain ways. Gives the cars more weight. And the damage model is much more upgraded with Drive 5. Man, you guys really came at me with the questions. All right. Beats Gamer 9918. How much of a difference in both visuals and performance do you expect Grand Theft Auto 6 to be like on PS5 Pro versus base PS5? And how do you think the game to run on Series S? I have no idea how it'll run on there. I think you're going to see a cap 30 FPS across the board, and more like stability issues than anything else. I don't think we're going to see we might see a 60 FPS GTA on, the PlayStation 5 Pro. I don't know. We'll see. But I think the graphics and stuff, for sure, the resolution that they upscale from will probably change, stuff like that. Also, the lighting won't look as nice, deeper, richer blacks and whites. It'll be more grayed out. I hated that about the 360 era. And with lower gen consoles, that always seems to be the thing when they're running like a new big game, is you lose so much color depth. So, stuff like that. All right. What are y'all doing? What are you doing right now? You on your lunch break? You in the bathroom? You driving a car? Are you driving a bus in Scotland? Ooh, I am stretching my arms. You guys came through, man. There are so many questions. Good Lord. I'm loving it. Hope I'm not boring y'all to death answering questions. I think this is y'all's favorite part, though, isn't it? Okay. Let me hit my vape. Crazy stuff going on in the world right now, man. Let's get political. Let's segue. Let's get real political. Talk about isolation tanks and stuff like that. Okay. Now, let's move on. We have Gumball 2270. Question: Since you can only play Grand Theft Auto 6 for the first time once, what are you going to do in your first playthrough? Buddy, I have no idea. You can ask me what the first thing I'm going to do is, and I've answered it several times. It's different. Really, I'm just going to sit there and jizz my pants. I'm going to be in complete awe of the game. I think it's going to blow us away. Dude, the first time I played Red Dead Redemption 2, I was like, oh my God. Like, it was too much. It was so much coming at me that I couldn't really experience it and take it in. And only like the third or fourth time did I really appreciate the intro. I don't know, that sounds dumb, but I'm so, when I play something that has so much hype behind it, and then you get it and you're like, oh yeah, it's just a 2D thing on a screen that I press buttons to interact with. It's like your brain does something to where it's like, oh, how do I enjoy this as much as possible? And then it's like, dude, just shut up and sit down and play it. Not everyone has that problem. I do. So it is what it is. I think I'm a little out there in the head though. So we'll see. I have no idea, but I am going to be blown away. I guarantee it. Or your money back. Octogunner Gaming. Hey, Andy, question. It's pretty much guaranteed that 6 will take some inspiration from movies and TV. Yeah, of course, like the other GTA games did. Any thoughts on specific movies or TV shows they might take from, aside from the obvious Miami Vice? 5 seem to take from the ones that weren't necessarily in LA, so they could pull from lots of places. Yeah, it depends on what's culturally relevant, right? Or what works for the tones and themes of the story. Because you're right, in 5, they pulled a lot of inspiration from Heat. Y'all go watch Heat if you haven't seen it. Outstanding movie. And there's a scene, one of the heists from Grand Theft Auto 5 is basically exactly the heist in Heat. Like exactly. So it's really neat to see it. If you played the game first and then go watch the movie, you're like, oh my gosh, I've done this. It's really cool. Let me see. This is something I feel like I should know. But I don't, because I can't think of anything off the top of my head that would work. I don't know, man. Man, that's just such a good question too. But I can't think of any movies they might base it off the top of my head. Now, there are several, and as we move on, I'm sure something's going to pop into my head. But what do y'all think? What movies and inspiration do you think they're going to take from? There is a lot that they could do. Like there's this Atlanta show, but it's not really about crime, which that's a good show if y'all haven't seen it. I like Atlanta. And we need an Atlanta Grand Theft Auto already. I've been there a lot, and you could have a very good Grand Theft Auto there. But a lot of the stuff that, I saw in the trailers and stuff reminds me of Atlanta and stuff. Just the people and stuff in it. It's kind of interesting. I don't know. Damn. Yeah, Miami Vice, of course. But the thing is like, we're not doing the 80s and stuff anymore. So that's the thing, is you really can't. Maybe. I don't know. They're focusing a lot on these rednecks with the guns and stuff like that. Wonder if they'll take some inspiration from stuff like, like Civil War, like what kind of American are you, that kind of stuff. I don't think they're going to get too political. Maybe they will. I'm really scratching, digging into my brain, trying to think what they could base it off of, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head. And that's because I'm really tired. NyQuil hangover. I'm going to be thinking about that one. I'm going to go in and heart this because I need to come back to it. What movie influences do you guys think Grand Theft Auto 6 will have? What seems obvious off the top of your head? This right here could be a video topic. So I'm going to start looking into it, and maybe you've created a video. So thanks for the question. Sorry, I did a piss poor job answering it. All right. Now, Sander Renokik. I think I said that right. Asking for lots of questions to determine the Dandy Andy fan base zeitgeist is smart, mate. You've been on a roll, and I'm glad to see you are comfortable enough with your decisions. Just stay yourself, and the channel will keep growing. Man, I appreciate you saying that. Appreciate that. I'm going to heart that. Yeah, I see. I control F and search questions, so that's why it popped up. Thank you, man. That means a lot. Sorry, I'm trying to stay with it because we got this video and we got another one. All right, JackBin1289. Question. Hey, Andy, do you plan to do any gameplay videos for Grand Theft Auto 6? Yes. And also, what are you most excited for in Grand Theft Auto 6? Jason or Lucia? Both of them. I can't wait for Lucia because first female protagonist in Grand Theft Auto. I think her backstory and background seem really interesting, and I think it'll be groundbreaking breaking for a female lead for such a huge franchise. But I am also stoked for Jason because we know Rockstar is very good at making the gruff, skilled, yet deeply emotional male characters like Arthur and Nico. So what are your thoughts? P.S. Big fan, discovered your channel back in January of 2026, and they have been keeping my hype alive for Grand Theft Auto 6 as we wait for more info. Much love. Oh, thanks, homie. Much love to you. Yeah, I think they're going to nail Jason. He seems like kind of a douchebag, so I'm kind of curious how they do it. Like a lovable douchebag. I don't know. I think he'll be like, one's going to be the brains, one's going to be the bronze, that kind of thing. Lucia, though, and Jason, they've talked about this, Rockstar. They're going to be basically like one character. You're going to be working so closely with them together that I think you're going to experience them as one character, if that makes any sense. Like, you'll love different aspects about them for sure. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to play as Jason. Oh, I'm going to play as Lucia. No. I think the way the game's going to be designed, you're just going to play as both, and you're not going to even think about it because you're going to need to strategically. That's like if you were to play, let's use a game like Operation Desert Storm or whatever. They had a global conflict, Desert Storm or whatever, and you have 4 people, and you're like, I'm only going to play as the sniper, Foley. That's it. I'm not going to play as Bradley or any of the other guys. It's like, well, what? No, you have to. You have to play as your squad. That's how it's going to be, I think, with Jason and Lucia. That seems to be how they've been designing the game. I think they realized in 5 they didn't really explore that as fully as they could have, and that's kind of where they're going. Now, in free roam, probably both, to be honest. I'm curious what their lives are going to be so dramatically different when they're separate, probably. I'm assuming that I'm going to want to see what it's like. I'm going to also want to see how people react to Lucia. We're going to walk around and people are going to catcall her, and now you can go over and kill them, so or stun them or beat them up or, so that'll be interesting. It'll also be nice too, because it'll prevent something like Jason pulling a Carl and burying a guy in cement for hitting on his sister, like in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That was just straight psychopath stuff. So jokes aside, I think I'm going to play as both a lot because I'm going to want to also see, how the world reacts to them, how they treat them. It'll be interesting. Yeah. Playing as a woman in that world and just seeing, how do they treat me when I go to the gun store? Like, hey, little lady, this is how this works. That kind of stuff. It'll be really cool. And then you go and Jason, like, hey, what's up, man? I know you. We'll see. I think there would be a missed opportunity if they didn't do that a little bit. Just like, I'm not saying like they need to make it to where it's like some like super pro-feminist message everywhere you go, but just make it realistic. Like if a woman goes somewhere, a man's going to react different because he's trying to get in her pants or something, and Lucia's hot. So who knows? It'll be interesting. I'm curious how they're going to do it. Great question. And I'm going to be doing gameplay vids for Grand Theft Auto 6. All right, now we got SoFaking856. Question, are you going to get a PS5 or PS5 Pro for Grand Theft Auto 6? I've been saving for the PS5 Pro because I'm going to have to do gameplay captures and stuff like that. And I want it to be the highest quality possible. And I think that is going to be on the PS5 Pro. I wanted to do a PS5 Pro for Matthew, but I just didn't have the money. And I don't have the money for a PS5 Pro yet, but I'm saving. So we'll see. But yeah, probably PS5 Pro. That way I can give you guys the absolute best looking video quality possible. I have a capture card too. It's in 1080. I'm trying to get a 4K one, so we'll see. All right, video game 1784 T5B. In the video, you mentioned your channel will die. Yes. When the game is released. Have you thought about live streaming when the game is released? Yes. I'm a day one Grand Theft Auto fan from the mid 90s. My friend had it on PC and I never looked back. Same, buddy. I remember all of the media uproar about it when it released. Found your videos in the past couple of days and it's already one of my favorite GTA channels. Keep up the great work. Man, that means a lot. Yeah, I'm probably going to start doing the live stream and stuff. There's a bit of an issue with doing that. As far as like my personal life, it's hard to find the time to do that and not being able to be pulled away or interrupted, so we'll see. But I'll try. And I really want to the plan is to do a live stream when the game releases. It's funny too, because like none of this is edited. Earlier, I think I took a break to like vape and drink my soda and stuff like that. I'm not cutting any of this out. And if the podcasts have been kind of me testing what the live streaming stuff would be like, because I don't have like a script outline next to me, and stuff like that to keep me on track when I ramble, and then I don't like cut it up and edit it. So, I used to do it without any scripts at all. And then I would just chop it all up. And then now what I do is I basically lay out a bunch of points on something. If I want to mention sources, I'll have them bullet pointed there and that's it. And then I just go and I just start talking and I might have quotes there and then I just kind of ramble. So my videos can feel all over the place and then I'll like trim them down. And then since it follows the outline, it doesn't feel all over the place, but it might have a lot of like too much fat in some areas and I'll cut it out and then kind of whittle it down until I have a good video. And I've always thought I had to have that performance with live, but I watch a lot of live streaming YouTubers and they don't. So like they just talk and they make a bunch of money doing it. And I'm like, that's insane. Luke, I think I have Luke something. I watch him a lot. I watch Mr. Matty Plays. Of course, I watch Charlie. I love Charlie. Who doesn't? He's great. So yeah, I'll probably live stream soon. It would be pretty interesting. I'm supposed to get in touch with Sav to do a video with him, but I've been waiting for this trial to be over so that I can. I'm really hoping. And man, this trial, I don't know why they're dragging on so long with it, because it's just like, dude, like he's guilty. It's very obvious that, like they played the recording for the jury. I don't know. They're just dragging it out. It's like, just get it. Oh, sorry. They need to get this over with. Man, it's so horrible, man. So horrible. Let's not dwell on that. Okay. Jesus. Look, guys, if you give me 1,000 questions, I'm going to get lost. I said the top 100 questions. I think this might be 100 questions by the time this is all said and done. So really, thank you guys. So now we got video game 1784 T5B question. In the video, you mentioned your... oh, no, we just did that. See, my God, I'm getting lost. Now we're on Price Lamonti. I remember reading your name and shout out time. What's up, man? Question. I also made a comment on here already, but I was curious to hear your opinion on Cyberpunk 2. I heard it's in pre-production and the game won't come out until 2030. Do you think Cyberpunk 2 will likely far exceed Grand Theft Auto 6? No. I think Cyberpunk 2 is going to double down on what Cyberpunk 2077 did. They create a deeply immersive world that feels like you are in a movie, where Grand Theft Auto is more of like a deeply immersive sandbox. Does that make any sense? In Cyberpunk, you go and you sink into the world. You're in these, and you go up and down in these buildings. You're in the depths of it, and they have all these scripted scenes. And I don't know, it feels different. The presentation is much different. I don't think it will compete with it. I think it will just be up there with it. It is very much its own thing. Like you could play Cyberpunk 2077, but it's not going to scratch the itch that a Grand Theft Auto game is going to scratch at all. Cyberpunk and vice versa. If I want like a deeply immersive Blade Runner style story, Grand Theft Auto ain't going to give me that. So no, I don't think they'll compete or blow each other out of the water. I think that what we're going to see is like Cyberpunk 2070. I did do a video though comparing the two just because I couldn't help it, but because there is an open world aspect to it, and there's been times where I've played Cyberpunk 2077 and I'm like, this is Grand Theft Auto just in the future. But no, they really are different games. I don't know. Yeah, I think there's so much about them that are different. And there's also some, that it's just not, it's apples and oranges. even though it's really not. I don't know. Great question, but I think they can both exist in their own right and do things better than the other one, you know? I don't think we're ever going to see NPCs in any other game like we are in Grand Theft Auto 6 or just any of the Grand Theft Autos and stuff to begin with. I also realized that when I'm answering your questions, I probably shouldn't scroll up and down on the page because then I'm going to get completely lost. So I'm going to stop doing that. All right. So who do we have next? All right. It's pretty much guaranteed. Inspiration from movies. I hearted you. I just want to say thank you for the content you've put out. This is from Moniquel. Did I say that right? Let me know if I didn't, man. 13 days ago. Geez, it's been a while since I've done videos. I'm sorry, guys. I just want to say thank you for all the content you put out. And I do have a question. Once GTA 6 does come out, do you think you'll make gameplay content for it? Because I got to wait for it to come out on PC. Wow, we just talked about this earlier. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I guess for those of you who, not everyone can afford a PS5 Pro, right? Like that's the cost of entry for this game for a lot of people. And that sucks. So I guess I'll have to. You're the reason. All right. That'll be really cool. Also free content. And basically I'll just be like hanging out with you guys playing a video game. That sounds like a dream. You know what? Maybe I won't play the game alone. Maybe I'll only play it with y'all. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We have Exxon X Live. Question, how do you prepare your videos with, okay. And then what do you edit with? And how do you speak openly without forgetting stuff? I know bullet points, but how do you think of subjects? You guys, I'll work backwards here. You guys is how I think of subjects. You guys put video topics all the time when you comment on videos. This started with a few original ideas, and then you guys put the original ideas in here for me. I'm like, oh, that'd be a great topic. I write it down. Also just sitting around thinking, looking up if you open a new tab and you open up YouTube, and you type in Grand Theft Auto 6, you see what people are searching for and you look for underserved stuff. I haven't done that so much lately. Now I just do, like I look at the videos that have done well and I'm like, oh, if that did well, this will probably do well, you know, and then I'll do a topic on that. And people have asked for this. As far as talking, dude, I've always been able to just talk. I can talk about anything forever. And in fact, I talk too much and you guys have given me a great outlet because Willow doesn't have to get like smack me in the face anymore. She likes peace and quiet. So it's really nice to be able to be in a spot where I can ramble. Like, it's pretty funny too, because as I do this, like right next to me, I've got like the channel Bible and stuff like that. And I haven't even touched this, but I like made this whole channel Bible thing, like how to grow it. And I'm off track. I'm not even doing the topics of it anymore, you know? So it's just kind of wherever I go, man. I do bullet points for stuff. It's not hard to find sources for anything. Well, kind of. I mean, I've gotten myself in trouble with like the 95% accurate thing. Never trust an AI overview ever. Like don't use Google AI, ChatGPT, you know, stuff like that. I can tell when a YouTube video is made by ChatGPT. There's like tells in how these, like how they talk. And it kind of suggests that like when they're talking like that it is written by AI. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll say from this to that, X, Y, and Z, you know, or they'll be like, I don't know. There's ChatGPT tells, and I can, when I hear it, I know it. And I'm like, oh, damn, this guy wrote a script with ChatGPT. So this is going to be a perfectly acceptable script. It's not going to be very interesting. It's not going to have low points. It's not going to have a contrast in there between low and high that make the script much more interesting than just being mediocre or run of the mill. It's just going to be perfectly adequate. There's a lot of ChatGPT scripts out there. I don't do that. So I just talk to y'all. So, and ramble a lot. Now I do, something I have done in the past is I'll take like a bunch of ideas and I'll write them all down or type them all down. I do have written down things, but it's a lot faster to type. And I'll type, and then I have used ChatGPT to like structure, okay, when should I talk about this? Like mainly in the beginning, which if you go back and watch my first videos, I think you can kind of tell that I was trying to use stuff to help structure like the format of my videos, because I can kind of ramble and get all over the place. But now, no, it's bullet points, pull up, you know, some sources, and it's go time. If I'm researching a topic like super heavily, sometimes I'll ask AI like, hey, is there anywhere I can find more information on this topic? But then you can't trust it because AI will hallucinate and stuff. So you have to click the sources, the links that it's presenting to you, and go and read the articles. But then when you read the articles, sometimes those articles are written by AI. So you got to be super careful when you're going through this stuff and all that. And if I ever reference an article that I'm like skeptical of or something like that, which is, you notice why I stick to kind of a few sources. Sometimes I'll get a little bit outside of that, and I mainly try and lean into like the gameplay leakers and stuff like that. Like game roll, not gameplay leakers, but the game business leakers and stuff like that, journalists and all that. But yeah, sometimes, so you just got to be real careful if you're planning to do this yourself, which it kind of sounds like you are based off of your questions. But yeah, bullet points, talking, sources I said it's not that hard, but it is probably the hardest part, but it is not as hard as I originally thought it would be to go and find, if that makes any sense. And you do have AI tools to help you find sources. You just need to actually read the sources and verify them, because it will feed you crappy sources too. So only if you're going to use AI for anything, don't use it to write your script. Don't use it to make your video. Don't use it to do anything other than to help you find sources on things that you already know are sourced. If you're trying to make and back up a point further. And then how do you edit? Because there's a lot of AI garbage on YouTube. Sorry, I feel very strongly about this. So I just really want to say there's a lot of AI garbage on YouTube, and I really don't like it. I like authentic, organic content. That sounds so weird, but like, I put so much into these things, man. Like, it's easy for me to ramble on here now, but even this is a lot. Like, I'm starting to understand how podcasting can be difficult, because you ramble and ramble and ramble forever. But it's not as hard as like, the actual editing of the videos. Like this last video I did almost killed me. My God, all the edits and stuff. But it's a labor of love. And I want the videos, when I put them out, I want them to feel magical, and I want it to feel like a good time, and I want to get you guys hyped. Like, everything I do is perfectly engineered to get you guys excited with me for these games. So, I'm not like presenting the videos in a corporate boardroom or anything yet to optimize them, but yeah. But if you guys are curious about the process, I'm telling you about it. So that's how I speak openly. With editing, I use Adobe Premiere, After Effects. That's pretty much it. That's really all I need for these videos. How do you prepare your videos? That is like a 3 or 4 hour long video, my friend. But if you want more information on how I do stuff, you can reach out to me and I'll tell you. But as far as, I always thought it was funny. I was like, I'm going to have this shtick to where I'm this character. When people ask me about it, like, I'm just going to play dumb and be like, hey, I am the character, because this is a character in its own universe. So I'm breaking the fourth wall here. But the animation is all done in After Effects. Absolutely everything. Everything is created in After Effects. Animation's done in After Effects. Is for this right here, the podcast, assets have been exported out and used Python scripts. Learned a little bit of code in college back in the day, and Python scripts and the internet. And AI. AI will help you with scripts if you're running into any syntax errors. And I was able to get certain elements firing in a way that looks like an After Effects comp. So for example, if I was to record what I'm recording now and run it through my After Effects thing, it would take hours to export, and it would be really like a lot of gigs. Or I could have all of this running now through OBS, all linked up, all synced up via scripts, and you're almost none the wiser. The only difference, the only tell, is my mouth is a little lower quality when I do it with OBS. See if you can tell which videos have OBS. That's about it. But yeah, this is how I would live stream and stuff, is I built OBS rigs. So yeah, OBS, After Effects, all that stuff. I hope that answered that. And if any of you were curious about the process, there's a little sneak peek behind the scenes of the Dandy Andy experience. Man, I hope your day's going good. This is going to be the longest podcast ever. There's no way it's not, because I'm going on like an hour and 25 minutes now. There's no way. Okay. Let me take another sip of soda. Let me know if the ad breaks are getting annoying. I'm trying not to put too many, but I need to make money to continue doing this. So the ad breaks are really annoying. I know they just went up on YouTube Premium, so I'm going to try and cut the ad breaks in half for y'all in this one, because I know a lot of you just got rid of YouTube Premium. I'm not going to stop paying for it, but I think it's absolute bullshit that they raised the price like that. I know a lot of people are pissed. What do you think about that? What do you guys think about YouTube Premium? Maybe don't comment about that, or they're going to like ban my channel. All right. We got Musa Hassi. Let me know if I said that wrong. We're right. It's just my interpretation of your name, man. Question: will Grand Theft Auto 6 get cameos from characters that are still that are from Grand Theft Auto 5? I don't know. I hope so. I would be surprised if not, actually. And if Trevor canonically lived or whatever, I hope he gets the Johnny Klebitz treatment, because I fucking hate Trevor. He is this. I hate that character so much. Anytime the game tries to make me feel any ounce of sympathy for him, like any bit, nah, nothing. And I've never beaten 5, but I already know which ending I'm gonna get. So I'll tell you that. But yeah, I think we'll see cameos. Dylan SS30 or S356 question. Sorry, I just watched DOS boot. Question: what are the top 5 things you want to hear or you want to do or test once free roam opens up? Just live. Just live, man. Just live in the world. Honestly, I'm not going to like do anything crazy. I know I said the first thing I'm going to do is go hit someone with a car. Nah, I think what I'm going to do now is just exist in the world and let these things kind of open up and naturally occur so that I'm surprised when they happen. I don't want to go out like I did in Grand Theft Auto 4 with my brother and start running into people with cars. I want to play as immersively and grounded as possible when I go through and see how that works in this game. But who knows? I could go completely off the rails. And now it looks like I'm going to be playing this game with y'all, which is going to be great because now I can justify playing a video game as work time. So, you know, Willow can't complain. It'll be fun, man. I hope you guys go through Grand Theft Auto 6 with me. So many YouTubers are going to be going through it. They're going to be talking at like a million words a minute, be like, wow, whoa, look. Oh, and they're going to laugh really loud. It's hard for me to watch a lot of that kind of stuff. I like when the YouTubers are just kind of chill when they're going through it. It just depends on the personality. But I hope we are compatible personalities. I think this has gone very well between you and I. And, you know, so, you know, if you want to give me a chance, we could do that. All right. But if I had to choose like 5 things, definitely running into NPCs with cars. Can I pick up and throw NPCs? It's all NPC stuff. If I see a weight bench, I'm going to run over to it to confirm, like desperately, like mad dash, like, yes, you could work out in the game. Haha, suck it. All of you. I was telling you. Drive on mud. Jump off the biggest building. See how they fall. Yeah, you know, the huge. See how the huge plays out. Now we got Willie the Waffle. Yes, dude, thank you. I don't hear enough people giving Red Dead Redemption 2 the credit or respect of possibly being the greatest game ever created at this point. You have not been on the Red Dead Redemption Reddit. All right, so I also believe it's one of the greatest stories ever told through a video game, being loyal to an absolute fault, where that same loyalty in turn caused your own physical demise, wrapped in the self-awareness and understanding by the player. But so seemingly lost by Arthur as he believes so much that he's doing what he was to Jesus Christ. I was trying to make this profound for you, man, because it looks like you really wrote it out. But the words are starting to look 3D and like they're sticking out of the screen. I've been looking at them for so long, so I'm sorry. But so seemingly lost by Arthur as he believes so much that he's doing what he has to in order to survive and keep his gang friends alive, he realizes too late, staring death in the eyes and wanting to feel he did one good thing while he was still alive. He took to save John. Yeah, he did save John, a man he felt whose loyalty was questionable for running off on the game previously for a year. Yes, what else? Just for in the end, Arthur to realize not only was he wrong about the way he lived his life, but also the way he thought of John. And even to the extent he realized he questioned a man's loyalty for doing something they all should have done long ago, which was leave the gang. What's brilliant to me in this is I don't think Rockstar tried to push that exact thought path, but it's very hard to not think about or see after thinking on it. And I think it's very accurate. I also might just be biased towards any good Western, especially in gaming, this Western, but Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be hard to beat in several areas as far as the story mode and immersion-wise. I think even possibly by Rockstar themselves. Wow. That's a crazy comment. I'll tell you this. This is something I thought about. Sometimes it's not the artist's intent for a certain message to be taken from their work, you know. But if you put enough substance and content there and enough believability, these things kind of naturally emerge because humans are great at creating patterns from nothing. And but sometimes there is a bunch of something and it's just not the original intent because there's just so much going on because the characters are so well fleshed out. And I love that. That's the whole thing of writing your characters and let them write the story for you. And, you know, I agree with you. I hope the writers of Grand Theft Auto 6 understand that and I hope that's what we get. So excellent comment. Thank you. And yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2, absolute masterpiece. If I wasn't such a Metal Gear fanboy, I'm not a Kojima fanboy, I'm a Metal Gear fanboy. I would just tell everyone it's my number one favorite game of all time. But Metal Gear Solid 3 exists. I'm sorry. Okay. Question. So with this release, do you think there will be a fleshed out... Oh, this is from Born to Fly 22/7, by the way. So with this release, do you think there will be a fleshed out basketball activity kind of on par with 2K? Also, I've seen rumors on trunk storage. Thoughts? Yeah, there's trunk storage. I've covered that in videos. It's kind of like Cyberpunk if you want to go check it out. You're going to kind of be doing your inventory from your trunk the way you do with your horse in Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, there should be basketball. In fact, there should be sports teams, and this should be a video. There's so many stadiums and stuff that I think we're going to see some Miami Heat, stuff. And yeah, I think we're going to see court basketball, all that kind of stuff. Wasn't that on the confirmed features list that I did a while back? I don't remember at this point. There's so many features. It's hard to keep up with everything. Yeah, I think we're going to see some basketball and stuff. All right, so that was video 10, y'all. I still have video 11. So I'm going to heart all of you. This is when a lesser man would break the video up or the podcast up into 2 episodes. But I am not that man. So, and I have to heart all of you. So if you're waiting to continue, hearing me yap about Grand Theft Auto 6, don't worry, I'm getting there. Just gotta heart you guys. Gotta give credit where it's due. Sometimes I heart people too, and the hearts aren't there when I go back. I don't know why. Oh, geez, man. It's been crazy. Life right now. And I realize I get really out of breath when I talk too much. I really need to quit vaping and smoking and the cigars. And maybe the Zen pouches as well. Oh my God. There are so many questions. Whew. We're going through these faster. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. But not that much faster. Maybe not. I don't know. I like to yap. We'll see. Maybe I'll take a break and come back. Question. Wait, Trinium. Oh, I did you. And then we went back to the other. So now we have CSA 9188. Question. Do you think the radio will have talk radio on it or like a podcast or something? Because I love riding around and listening to the talk radio shows on GTA. Yeah, of course. That'll for sure be in there. They'll have different talk radios and all sorts of stuff. They do that in every Grand Theft Auto. And they'll do it in this one. And I'm really excited for it as well. That's something Starfield's missing. Sorry to keep bringing up Starfield. I'm sure the gameplay loop has run out by now because I don't think I captured enough to cover this. But yeah, it's missing radio stations. Like in your spaceship, they have like placeable ones in your spaceship. And I know this isn't Grand Theft Auto, but I'm saying like when you go without the radio, you really realize you don't have the radio, even if you don't like to play with it all the time. So yeah, they're going to have talk radio. Remember VCPR from Vice City? Pressing the issues. I missed that. It was such a good time. All right, Hot Sauce 4549. Question. Will GTA 6 have some sort of mobile app? Yes. That interacts with the game. Oh, I don't know. But in the game, yeah. I hope not. I thought that was kind of gimmicky. They'll probably do it though. Red Dead 2 had an app that connected with the game and showed a live map with your location and also Arthur's journal. Would be cool in GTA 6 if you could text characters, order weapons. If y'all want that, sure. I don't understand the draw, like the appeal with that. Maybe when you're at work, it's like kind of a way for you to engage with the game and they know this like in a small way. So maybe they had like a Chop app or something like that for Grand Theft Auto 5. They've been trying to do stuff like that for a while now, but I don't think, they'll do something, but I don't know. It's never really taken off. Interesting question. I've never seen someone care about that. That is cool to know that someone does care about that. I'm not throwing shade or anything. That's cool. And sorry, I'm distracted by the next question, which is very politically charged. Metal Missionary, what's up, Vince? Can we blow up Mar-a-Lago? I don't think so. Question, do you believe Grand Theft Auto 6 will adopt the gore dismemberment mechanic and detail from Red Dead Redemption 2? Those that don't think so use the sentiment of, that only works for the Old West. Would be too messed up to implement in the modern era. Well, I mean, they're right. That's just how it is with Rockstar, with the, them trying to protect themselves. I don't feel that way at all, though. Okay. If it's supposed to have a serious tone, I agree with you. If it's supposed to have a serious tone, as we believe it will, I think they will definitely expand upon the amazing system they designed for Red Dead Redemption 2. Thanks and love the content and podcast. Yeah, I hope so. I don't think so. I have to mod it in for Grand Theft Auto 5. They should just go all in, man. Just make it happen. Like, they're big enough now to be the trendsetters. So I hope it is something they do, but I understand why they scale it back. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't think it will be as amped up as Red Dead Redemption 2 at the moment. I don't know. I go back and forth. Yeah, I hope so. That's all I really got for you, man. Sorry, I'm tired. I hope they do, because you're right. I think it really messes up immersion when you shoot someone and it doesn't look like you shot them. I'm not playing Grand Theft Auto 6 for a bunch of Teletubbies to come tickle me every time I shoot someone. Like, it should look like that. It should be raw. It should be real. There should be dismemberment. And if they don't, then it's very obvious why they don't when it's not in their game, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? They should go full, like, just messed up. Or make it real. Just make it as realistic as possible and less flamboyant than Red Dead Redemption. Who knows? All right, Ling 9700. Question. You mentioned the GTA 4 gloomy vibe in one of your past episodes, but said that probably wouldn't fit in the Grand Theft Auto 6 vibe. Do you think the towns will have separate vibes, with Port Gellhorn having that sort of GTA 4 gloomy vibe and the other towns having their own? Also, do you think Grand Theft Auto 6 Online will have user-generated content? And if so, how do you think that will affect the game? Amazing stuff right there. As far as user-generated content, if they have some sort of building system, I think you're going to see like gangs with like fenced-off areas and stuff, and that would be so sick. If they don't, there's going to be compounds and stuff that they can run and operate out of, like they were supposed to in 5, but I haven't really seen people do. But it sounds like they're tripling down on the role play. So I hope to see more of that. And there was user-generated content in 5, wasn't there? Like custom games and stuff like that you could play. Wasn't that user-generated with the hoops and stuff? Or was that made by Rockstar? But yeah, with the user-generated stuff, I see a lot of obstacle courses. I see a lot of towns, see a lot of deathmatch stuff, like Forge mode in Halo 3, all that kind of stuff. Also, the roleplay stuff's going to go nuts with it. Fleshing out the world, fencing off their properties, that kind of stuff. If they're allowed to place their own, instances of things in world, in the game world, we'll see. As far as the vibes from different places, yeah, absolutely. Remember, Red Dead Redemption 2 did that. Every single place you went had a completely different vibe. Strawberry felt different than Valentine. Like the color palette, everything changed. Saint Denis, all of it felt dramatically different. So yeah, it's going to feel different. That was a great question. I'm going to heart you too for saying great question. Question, with special guest GTA characters, are you expecting to... Okay, so which Grand Theft Auto 5 characters am I expecting to see in Grand Theft Auto 6 and why? I don't know. I'm not really expecting... I haven't beaten 5. And I thought a lot of the characters, and still do, I think a lot of the characters are really annoying, and I hope to not see them. But maybe Franklin, because he's the only one I think who can get out, depending on your options. Although Grand Theft Auto Online, I think, confirms that they all lived or something. So I don't know. Maybe Lester. Yeah, I think if we see anyone, it's probably going to be like Lester, Franklin. And if that's like the main cast, just because, they're alive and it makes sense to still see them. Depending on your endings, like your endings for 5 could be radically different. Although they don't really seem to care about that when it comes to game canon. And then I would love to see, not a Grand Theft Auto 5 cameo, but a Grand Theft Auto 4 cameo. I would love to see I would just want to see Roman show up somewhere. That's it. Just give me one scene of Roman showing up. That's all I need, man. It'd be really cool. That's a great question, but man, honestly, there's no telling until they do it. But they might go the Grand Theft Auto 5 route and then pull a couple of like characters you did some missions for who were cool with the protagonists. And then that's that. But I don't actually know enough of them to name them other than Lamar. And God, Lamar's annoying as hell and a terrible friend. So we'll see. All right. Freezing Toast 69. Question. Have you planned Hotline Miami? If no, please do so before Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm assuming you said played. If yes, do you think we will get some allusion to it in Grand Theft Auto 6? Let me look up what you're talking about. Hotline Miami. Well, This is going to take me to a bad site. I think I know what you're talking about. No, I have not played Hotline Miami. Oh, I've heard of this. I'll have to check this out. This looks like a game I would really like. No, I haven't played it, but I will now. Thanks. Ghetto Guide, WG7GD. Question, what small things are you excited about or hope for? Car tuning, this actually having an impact on performance. Switches might cause gun jam, variation of the same car like Mercedes C300, C43, C63, etc. Yeah, the car stuff is pretty cool. I'm not really much of a car guy. I'm more of a gun guy. So I want to see like actual really good weapon modification stuff. I don't want to see anything stupid. Like, something that's the law is you can have an angled grip, but you can't have like a straight grip for a rifle for civilian use, stuff like that. I want to see stuff that makes sense in the universe. I want to play around with the receiver, the trigger, all that kind of stuff. Like really get in depth with the guns. I love it when games get like immersive with guns. It just makes it so much more interesting to me. Like Ready or Not, even though you can't really like customize to that extent, it does. I don't know. The gunplay is just so good, and I like it. And it's looking like in 5, that's kind of the route they're going to go, is more kind of tactical shooter, but not really like as far as like the sounds and the presentation of the weapons. So yeah, because there's only so many differences between like the AR platform rifles, like and how they look, between that and the M16 and all that kind of stuff. So giving us the ability to go in there and really customize it and make it our own is cool. And I'm not really one for cosmetics when it comes to firearms. I really only care about practicality. So it'd be cool if there's a bunch of practical stuff, but we'll see. Other than the car tuning, I do like to trick out cars, but not really. I kind of like to keep it low profile because I'm like, I wouldn't want to draw too much attention to myself in the world. Maybe like some small stuff, make it a sleeper to get away. Stuff like that. Really in-depth businesses. I really want to interact with my business other than like going and stealing and dropping stuff off. I want to be in the building doing something, like give me something to do in the building. That's okay. We can stop and breathe for a while, something like that. Yeah, Switch is having a gun jam. I would love to see gun jams in Grand Theft Auto. I think it'd be awesome, especially seeing what the characters do. Maybe you can get the better gun skill you get or whatever, the faster you can clear stovepipe jams and stuff like that, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's kind of what I want to see. A lot of gun stuff. Great question. Dylan S356 question: what are your thoughts on people who choose to avoid the trailers going forward? I enjoy being hyped for the game during these days and being more speculative, but after trailer 3, then gameplay reveals and stuff, I might rather experience it for the first time myself. I would just watch the trailers, man. Just remember, there's more to it than just you experiencing the game for you personally. I'm saying there's more to it than just having an experience of the game without any prior knowledge or anything. There's also the communal aspect of being excited and talking and going into something together. So yeah, I would keep up the trailers and everything. They're only showing you what you're supposed to see. And when you play the game, you're not going to like know it in and out. It's still going to be a huge surprise to you. Yeah, keep up the trailers, dog. I would advise everyone to, or recommend for everyone to. You do whatever you want. It's a free country, but yeah, I mean, I like being a part of the hype with all y'all and being excited together. And I think, that's something that I'd want to do. That is something I want to do. So I don't know why others wouldn't, is what I'm saying. So I'm not judging them. I'm not like, hey, they suck. I don't understand why you would do that. All right, hold on. Dude, I asked for a bunch of comments and y'all said, hold my beer. Good Lord in heaven. Beansman 3. Hey, Danny Andy Plays. I have a question. Why don't they just take a page out of the Crew 2 book and just make it completely open world by making the map all of America, all 50 states? Well, because they'd have to create all of that. Dude, you know why. It'd be pretty cool though. Yeah. All right. Sheriff Woody, 860. Question: do you think we'll have Modern Warfare 2019 level gun customization? Well, we just talked about this, baby. And Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm really hoping for not just customization, but personalization. Let me put on different handguard and stock just because it looks cool, not even because it affects accuracy. Hey, people who customize guns for aesthetic reasons, that's cool too. I got to start talking like that. That's funny. Your question popped up so close to that. Yeah, I hope so. I think it's going in that direction. I do. I think Sheriff Woody, I think we're going to see it. And I hope you're doing okay, by the way. Everyone, wish Sheriff Woody a good day. And will the money ever be equal to the love? No, homie. The money will never be equal to the love. It's all about that love, homie. Keep it real. If that was a reference to something and I dropped the ball, I'm so sorry. All right, Big Bash 8011. But hey, I hope you're doing okay, Sheriff Woody. Hope you're having a good day, man. All right, Big Bash 8011. Hey, Andy, question. Before Grand Theft Auto 6 was revealed to be set in Leonida, what location was the most speculated to be the setting? Vice City. And in general, what did everyone during that time think Grand Theft Auto 6 would be like? I don't know if we expected the Project Americas thing. I don't know. Like, I mean, you were there for that, right? Like the Project Americas hype and everything. It was going to like go over a few decades, starting like the 70s or 80s. And then they scaled it down. So that's kind of what we were expecting. For sure, even after Grand Theft Auto, the day Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, I told Justin in the car, all right, looks like next time we get to go to Vice City. Because, I was really expecting them to do Vice City for Grand Theft Auto 5 to keep up the order in which they do things. And then we would be going now to San Andreas with the multiple cities and stuff like that. Instead, they gave us Los Santos. I don't know. It went the way it did, and it's been many years now, but I kind of wonder what it would be like if they did Vice City, because it kept it as a smaller location for 5, and then gave us the proper full Grand Theft Auto San Andreas treatment for this next one. That would have been interesting. But yeah, we've pretty much always known we're going back to Vice City. I don't think we're going to see a new location ever with Grand Theft Auto. They like these 3 cities. But if they do, come to Texas, baby. All right. Yo Hat is Hat Trip. Dude, you asked a question on the other one and I'm butchering it again. And you're a homie and I'm butchering it. It looks like you're getting close to graduating too, based on your member badge. All right. What is going to be your least favorite location in Grand Theft Auto 6? Mine is Ambrosia. I feel like there's nothing much to do unless a game trailer proves me wrong. Don't knock it until you try it. I'll say that. I don't think Ambrosia looks... there's parts of Ambrosia that look interesting. I like rundown things. I like rundown areas. I like dingy lighting that feels lived in. It reminds me a lot of growing up. So, which not just from places I went. I'm not saying I grew up in a house that was destroyed or anything like that. Not at all. I'm just saying like a lot of my friends and stuff like that, and just people I knew. I don't want to talk a lot, but I was in places that kind of had that aesthetic a lot. And there's something about it that feels very comforting because I'm used to it, if that makes any sense. So I do kind of like stuff like that. Stuff like trailers and mobile homes, stuff like that. And then like rundown buildings. I don't know. I really like it. Also, it gives them texture and character. I prefer it much more than sanitized, super sterile, lifeless buildings. Humans are messy creatures, So I like it to be a little messy. I'm curious what it'll be like to go there. I think I might enjoy that location more than I initially thought, now that you have me thinking about it in those terms. Because there's that shot of the motel. Is that Ambrosia? I forget. But I don't know. Where's that Port Gellhorn? I'm confused. I think that's Ambrosia. Oh, well. Anyways, don't knock it until you go there yourself in the game. Because there might be something there that pleasantly surprises you. All right. Hey, Uters. That's an awesome name. Question, just an observation, LOL. I think the best example of this real-time glass fragmentation stuff is in the 3-second clip of Raoul outside the bank heist. Yes! On the top right side of the screen, you can see glass shards spewing out of the central single bullet impact of a nearby car. Yes, I think you are right. That is exactly what they were showing off in that clip. Great catch. Great find. And that is one of the most stimulating ones too, just with all the little projectiles and stuff flying around. Great catch, man. Yeah, I think so. You can see it in real time right there. Samuel J5890. Question. I know you like milsims, so have you ever played Hell Let Loose? Yes. It's a great game, and there's a new one coming out set in Vietnam, which could be a good to cover once Grand Theft Auto 6 has died down a bit. Maybe. I tried playing Hell Let Loose, but I prefer Postscriptum 10,000 times more. It's harder. And now Hell Let Loose got more popular, but my God, Postscriptum, or now known as Squad 44, dude, I just prefer it a lot more. There's the way that everything sounds and handles. I'll jump back in. Also, doesn't Hell Let Loose not have a ballistic system? Isn't it hit scan? I hate that crap. And I like ballistics. If my bullet's traveling in a world, it needs to actually travel in 3D space, not be a hit scan. We'll see. I'll give it another shot. I'm sure it's fun. It's been a long, long time since I played a shooter like that. So, I love Squad though. So we'll see. Do you think, also my computer couldn't run it, so I gave it a bad review. I'll go back and I'll change it, I promise. After I play it. All right, I'll play Hell Let Loose. Good idea. Maybe I'll cover it a bit. All right, sorry. And sorry for the cheesy laugh thing. Ghetto Guide, WG7GD. Question, do you think there will be an app to where you can play your own music in your car while riding with friends or solo? Yes. Obviously turning it off if need be for copyright purposes. Yeah. They've always had the ability to add your own custom radio station. I love it. My favorite implementation of it is in Grand Theft Auto 4 with the DJ and him talking crap about your music. I love it. And how pretentious you are and self-absorbed you are for playing your own music. I hope we get something like that back. But realistically, we'll probably get like a music player, like a Spotify kind of thing. So we'll see. Shammy50, what's up? Hey, Andy, couple questions. If you can answer them, thank you. How long would you predict the main story to be? And do you expect it to be as layered in depth as Red Dead Redemption 2 or even Grand Theft Auto 4? I would hope after 13 years, we will be getting the best of everything in regard to story, RPG elements, the world, but the longer we wait, the more the internet makes me worry about the final product. That's why I love your content, though. Also, any predictions for how they handle online? They should go full sim, in my opinion. Hey, I agree. But like I said earlier, what they should do is they should allow the options to be there for it to feel immersive without forcing it upon you to slow things down so that everyone can experience the immersion that they want in their own way in this universe. You know, like if you want to go take a shower and focus on all that stuff, that option should be available to you. If you want to sit down at a restaurant and eat before you're at big heist, that option should be available to you. But if you want to just rush things, that should also be available to you. The main story, let's see, you said, how long would you predict the main story to be? That's a good question. Probably about as long as Red Dead Redemption 2. I would expect it to be exactly that length, like just very big, layered, and deep, like you said. Yeah, I would expect it to be like Red Dead Redemption 2, which is a lot richer than Grand Theft Auto 4. And not saying Grand Theft Auto 4 isn't rich, but you know what I mean. I would hope that after 13 years, we will be getting the best of everything in regard to story. Same. RPG elements, same. The world, but the longer we wait, the more the internet makes me worry that the final product, yeah, I feel you. And, you know, I think that last delay, other than making it work on consoles and stuff like that, might have been to add some more features. I think that this time they're like, no, it's not enough. Do another pass. No, it's not enough. Do another pass. And when we get it, it's going to, Red Dead Redemption 2 exceeded my wildest expectations. And every Rockstar game has, except for 5. And even that wasn't so bad. So I think we're in good hands. We'll see. I am very optimistic about Grand Theft Auto 6. That is no surprise. But we'll see. Question. What do you think about the idea of having a longer and more immersive day-night cycle? Yes, please, good God. Make the nights longer. More time to actually experience and live in the world. Red Dead Redemption 2's day-night cycle was great, but in my opinion, way too short. It was interesting. You also said, love your videos. Enjoy the down-to-earth format. Enjoy the rambling. Much love and peace, bro. Hey, much love and peace to you, bro. And thank you for listening to me ramble. I'll say this. Red Dead Redemption 2 had a cool idea for the time cycle stuff, and it is a very cool implementation. It's just not done right yet. When you sit down at a poker table, time should stop and run at real time. Okay? I've never understood this with time cycles in games. Why do you have it set to move out just a specific thing? Make it believable. Here's how a time cycle, in my opinion, should work for games like this. If I go to play poker, the time slows down to 1-1 real time. That's how fast stuff passes. If I'm walking around in a settlement, an outpost, something like that, or, in this case, the city, let's just say an outpost or something like that, or a small town. Time should run either 1-to-1, half speed, or 12 times, just something like that. Maybe not 12 times, but faster, but still slow. When I'm in a high-speed shootout, high chase, big shootout stuff, 1-1, to the time. When I am driving on a highway to another city, the time cycle should speed up a lot. And by the time I get there, it should be different. If I take a plane, the time cycle should speed up a lot. Red Dead Redemption 2 had this. It's just the way they did it was weird. And they made nights pass way too fast. Time speeds up when it's nighttime in Red Dead Redemption 2, if you didn't know that. And that's why you get those storms coming in the evening that pass in like a blink of an eye. I think night should be just as long as day. And depending on what you're doing at night, like if I'm standing in one location in a town, it should slow down a bit. And, because I want to live in a space in that world and time and not thinking about having to manipulate a time cycle. Let it exist naturally. I think they struck a good balance with Red Dead Redemption 2, but it needed some things to get it all the way there, and especially noticeable during playing cards. I hate that in any game when I sit down to play cards and like an entire day passes. That should never happen. The time cycle should go 1-to-1 real time when you do that. So, what do y'all think? In fact, I play with that in Fallout New Vegas. Those literally, it's possible. I would play the game with exactly that. That's how I play the game. When I'm inside of a building, time is 1-to-1. When I'm traveling, it's the normal game speed. Actually, it's a little slower, but it's still going. And when I sit down to play cards, 1-1, well, you're indoors anyway. So yeah, it adds a ton to the immersion of your experience. Question, could you take a quick second to go into your fan theory for how Metal Gear Solid and Fallout and Rockstar games will play into the same universe? Also, is there a business email you have for possible partnerships? Love your videos and the channel. Yes, I have my email in my About section. You can go and get it there. I think it's like contact.dandyandy@gmail.com or dandyandy.contacts@gmail.com. It's one of those two. But yeah, if you want to reach out to me, you can. Man, I don't know if I'm ready to tell you all this big nerdy timeline. All right, so basically just in my head canon, I just have it to where it's like Metal Gear Solid 3, you got Naked Snake, and he's John, right? His name's John. So I'm just like, fuck it. You never know his last name. His last name's Marston. So boom. What if, he is Jack Marston's son, and he named him after John Marston. So Big Boss is really Jack Marston's son in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Okay. You go through all of Metal Gear Solid. Okay. And Metal Gear Solid is like the end of it, I think, right? No, then you have Fallout. So in Fallout, it's kind of like nebulous because it's like years in the future, but there was some sort of thing to where they went back into like maybe we pushed so far into the nuclear apocalypse and everything going on in Metal Gear Solid and all these mercenary companies that then humanity decided, let's take some steps backwards. Let's go back to the past and through, all sorts of stuff. Retrofuturism became the move, and that just became the style as America became more and more fascist in this Fallout universe. And all of a sudden you got, Fallout. So, and Metal Gear's all about how nukes are bad and stuff like that, so maybe somehow there was another cloning project. And if you play Fallout New California, that is very much what happens. And and it's very much tied to the Vault Dwellers. So it sounds like there was some other secret cloning project or maybe another clone of Snake that happened. And that bloodline could have continued on somehow, maybe with the ability to reproduce without the fox die stuff. This is all written down and documented somewhere. I'm just not going to read it, or you guys are going to think I'm such a nerd. I mean, you probably already do. Now, to get to Fallout 4, that's the tricky thing. But in Fallout 2, there is a time thing that takes you back in time. So I'm just like, fuck it. What if he stumbles out to this rock and goes back in time, then has to deal with the weight of being in the pre-war after experiencing Fallout New California, all of Fallout New Vegas, finds this thing out there, is transported back, and then brings his way all the way up into Fallout 4. And I've got this all written down. And he has like a colonel who comes and visits him and like knows him. And he is the, son of the guy that he knew in the future. And his face is all messed up at the beginning. And his, Nora knows about this and is working with him through it and all this kind of stuff. And they end up using him for secret black ops operations in the army and stuff like that, which is why you start off as a huge badass in Fallout 4. And then boom, right into it. And you play with the silent protagonist thing and the Snake mods and everything. You got Snake. And I've also just modeled my characters and stuff to where I can literally I created a 3D model, did all the mapping and everything. It was a bitch to create the character I wanted to play in New Vegas and put it up on the mods Nexus. If you ever want that, type in Snake Courier. Completely created from scratch. So yeah, and it's how I put Snake in the game. Why did I do this? Because I'm a huge nerd and I get bored, and these are the things that I do. When I'm working, these are the things that are going on in the back of my mind. So, huge nerd. It's written down to where it makes a lot more sense than just how I described it to you, but this is a trust me, bro. There's also ways they split off, and somehow it ties into both Cyberpunk 2077 and the Unity and Starfield, which, spoiler alert, is a good cop-out anytime universes don't match. So yeah, have fun with your games. You know, be a nerd. Some of you guys just want to get home from work and play FIFA, and that's where it ends. Some of you get home and you play a game and you're like, what if this? What if that? And you like to create, you know, and you start connecting dots between other games. And you're like, what if this? You know, have your head canon. Let it be as stupid and childish as you want. We're all going to die someday. Have fun. Have fun and be creative. Don't ever lose that. That's something that we should not lose when we get older. And there's a lot of things that should mature. That never should. Because ironically, it matures the most when you allow yourself to be a kid with these kinds of things. That makes sense? I got to get on my soapbox after telling you guys the most nerdy thing I do so that I can forgive myself. All right. Well, it's not a fanboy theory, bro. It's just, I just wrote it. I don't write fanfic or anything like that, but it might as well be because it's like 100 pages of backstory. Hey, man, enjoy the games the way you want to. Like literally right next to me on my right, as I'm recording this, is a layout for a spaceship I'm going to build in Starfield and like everything. Because I have it to where they can like board your ship now. So when you're flying around, like enemies can actually dock your ship and board it. And so I'm like, I've got it laid out to where my crew can survive that because my crew can die. And I've got all the essential stuff turned off. And I've got gyms that work and mess halls that work and rigs that work and clinics that work, infirmaries, I mean, and garages for your ship. Like I've got it into a full blown space sim. So, you know, I like to create, you know, if that's not obvious. I like to create. And when I play other people's creations and I think something's lacking, I like to add to it and create more. And if I had more time, there would be so many mods I'd create. But I put a freaking mullet and snake into New Vegas because, I don't know, that was my contribution. I also sent like some really cringy message to some guy 2000 about, well, he's called something else now, about working on one of his projects. Anyways, but I just wanted to, I was like, hey, I would love to voice act in one of your projects because I'm a huge fan. And I said like, okay, I'll stop the butt kissing now or something like that. And it was just really awkward. I'm really awkward with people, man. It's hard. It's hard. I'm an introvert who can put on the extrovert mask. Okay. And a lot of you are like that. A lot of you go to work. Maybe you work in like a blue collar field or you work somewhere where like people talk shit to each other on the shift and are mean and can like threaten violence and stuff. I've worked places like that. Like, you know, not like garages and stuff like that, but like food services like that. You're screaming at each other and stuff like that if the restaurant's poorly run. And, you know, you put on this exterior and you get home, you take it off. Maybe you're in the military. Same thing. You have an exterior you put on, you do it, you get home, you're yourself, you know? Different masks we wear and stuff like that. So, you know, you can take that mask off and be creative. You don't have to be a hard ass. You could be a big, stupid goober just like me. And it's okay. You can still be big and tough when you go to work. Okay. Kobe motherfucking Collins. Question. Do you think there will be odd jobs in Grand Theft Auto 6 where if completed, you get upgrades like in previous games? Love you, man. Well, holy crap. I think I just had a stroke. Love you, man. Keep your head up, brother. Dude, I just spaced out. It was weird. I also get this really like tight feeling around my brow. I don't know what that is. I'm going to have a fucking aneurysm talking to you guys in the podcast. Yeah, man. I love answering questions. So I'm glad to answer them. Oh my God. Yeah. You guys are killing me. There's so many questions that I'm reading the next thing and responding to it. So that was what Maxski, you said, thanks for answering my questions, man. I think you kind of answered one of my questions from your last podcast too. So that was awesome. Okay. Kobe motherfucking Collins said, question, do you think there will be odd jobs in Grand Theft Auto 6 where if completed, you get to upgrade like in the previous games? Yes. I think there will be odd jobs that you can do. I don't know to what extent, but yes, there will be odd jobs. Sorry, I got to move on. This is going super long. BT Killer 30K question. What do you think will be the timeline for Grand Theft Auto 6 as a game? Whenever I think about Grand Theft Auto 6, I can't help but think if Rockstar is going to be able to / want to make an even bigger game, GTA 7, my main thought is that Rockstar will ride out Grand Theft Auto 6 for a very long time, like they did with Grand Theft Auto 5, 10 years. At least 10 years. Yeah. No, don't apologize for yapping. I yap too. I'm yapping to you right now. Yeah, 10 years. It'll be like Grand Theft Auto 5 all over again. So, buckle up if you don't like Vice City. You got 10 more years, baby. And even then, we'll see how they do an implementation of it. Because the game itself might go through some sort of transformation that turns it into something else. What do I mean by that? Like, well, what we talked about earlier with them adding stuff in online, the game transitioning, changing, what it is, going through revisions in real time as if it was a game in beta or alpha or something like that that's playable, like an early access game. We'll see. All right. Nox, Vertside. Question: what do you think Grand Theft Auto 6's economy will look like compared to GTA 5? I mean, the run-of-the-mill, Grand Theft Auto 4, Grand Theft Auto 5. As far as like prices, I think that we are going to be able to interact with banks. And you know what? Actually, didn't I just do a video on this? Hold on. When did you ask this? Go watch my economy video. That's everything I think and know about that. Sorry to like answer it with, go watch my video. Like and subscribe, bro. It's just, I'm really tired. And I don't have any notes in front of me other than my stupid spaceship for Starfield and my channel Bible. Neon Cyber Samurai. Question with an exclamation point and a question mark. Hell yeah. What are some ways you think they can implement the way we consume music and other types of audio content, like the Dandy Andy podcast and Grand Theft Auto 6, Grand Theft Auto 6 Online? Spotify, baby. There's going to be some sort of Spotify implementation. There has to be for Grand Theft Auto 6. If you're Spotify and you're trying to get the next generation of kids to use your stuff, it's not like that's been a problem. But if you just want to like cement yourself as like, we are the music people, be an option in Grand Theft Auto 6 to implement and use. Yeah, I'm not saying I support monopolies or anything like that, but there you go. That's how you would do it. Yeah, I think we're going to have some sort of streaming service kind of stuff in Grand Theft Auto 6. And I would love to be able to drive around and listen to podcasts. It's funny. There's these AI mods for New Vegas to where they make it to where it's like Joe Rogan having a podcast with like super mutants and stuff. And it's hysterical. So I have that in New Vegas and it's a good time. It's pretty funny. And it's actually really interesting because it's like you get the lore because it's Joe Rogan in this New Vegas universe interviewing like major characters you're going to meet later in your story. So I don't know. It's really cool. All right. Dante Pugley's whatever. Sorry, man. Question: how do you expect weapon customization to be? Whoa, man! A lot of you are bringing up Modern Warfare 2019. I guess I need to check this out. Yes, I do think we're going to see in-depth weapon customization for sure. We talked about it earlier in this podcast. Yes. Ghetto Guy WG7GD. Good Lord. Okay, you got a lot of questions here, buddy. What's the most dandy Andy way to fail your first mission in Grand Theft Auto 6? An epic car crash of some kind, or to just flip my vehicle for the like hitting a fire hydrant or something stupid. What's your most unhinged prediction for Grand Theft Auto 6 that you low-key believe could happen? I don't know if I have anything too unhinged. Maybe just the ability to shower and bathe and stuff. That doesn't seem to be very popular with people, but immersion aspects like that. I wouldn't even call it unhinged, but yeah, realism elements in the single player campaign, I think will be there. Also, I think that there's going to be a crazy cult with witchcraft and stuff like that in the game. That's a personal thing. So I think that we're going to see that too. Is there anything Rockstar could do that would disappoint you instantly regards to GTA 6? Yes, not have one of the main features that we've talked about on here because everything points to them having it, which means they would have stripped it away intentionally. If you could design one mission for Grand Theft Auto 6, what would it be? It would be a Hitman style mission to where you have to go in disguise and slowly track your target and work your way to it, like an assassination mission, stuff like that. I just like missions that take place at a place and are very involved and you have to do something. So maybe like an opera thing and you and Lucia are there and you have to take out a target, or like a sports game and you have to take out a guy there. Something like that with a big crowd. You got to blend in and there's a guy you got to get to and a lot of obstacles you got to navigate to get there. Murder of the Crows is one of my favorite Hitman missions of all time that takes place in New Orleans because of this. So yeah, there's like these 3 assassins trying to kill this political figure and you have to prevent them, and they're dressed as birds. It's interesting. All right. If GTA 6 had a hidden secret like Bigfoot again, what would you want it to be this time? Dude, make it like some big, creepy, slender man thing, witch thing with multiple limbs that charges you. Go full Resident Evil, whatever it is. When it happens, make it happen. Do you think that AI will finally be smart enough to make random chaos feel like actual consequences? Yeah, I do. I don't know if Grand Theft Auto 6 will be that. I think it'll be the closest to it though. And eventually, and very shortly, we're going to arrive there. What's one feature you think Rockstar is hiding that will completely change how we play? The limited inventory. Because it came from a leak, so I can say, and the trunk mechanics and stuff like that. If there's a hidden mechanic nobody's talking about yet, what do you think it is? Wait, didn't I just say that? No, you said feature. Now you're saying hidden mechanic. Probably like all the little tools. Here, I'll reverse answer your question. So the thing I answered previously works for this one. What I'm about to say now will work for the previous one. A bunch of gadgets and stuff like that to use. There's going to be little gadgets and doodads you have to use to accomplish things. And that'll make the world feel more involved and more interactive and have more strategy. I think Rockstar Games knows that their players are not children. Or that if they are children, that they're smart enough to figure it out. Even though the games aren't intended for kids, I understand. I mean, I ended up with Grand Theft Auto with like 7, so I get it. If Grand Theft Auto 6 had a reputation system that followed you forever, would you play differently or double down on the chaos? I don't ever play chaotically when I play Grand Theft Auto story mode. I always, I try to, by the time the game ends, my civilians killed thing, it says 0. If that tells you anything. If you could leak one real feature from Grand Theft Auto 6 right now, what would cause the biggest internet meltdown? Something political, like if there's a trans character in the game or something like that, that would be the biggest meltdown for the game, for sure, in this political climate. If GTA 6 had real consequences for everything you did, would it still be fun? No. You go to prison for 10 years or whatever, and you got to actually, all right, see you in 10 years, and then your save unlocks when you get back. There's an extent, to it. Games, when people say, I want my game to feel realistic, what they're saying is I want to feel more immersed in the role that you're trying to put me in. That's it. If GTA 6 ends up being slower and more realistic, do you think that helps your content or hurts it? That helps it dramatically, because that's what I love. That means I could talk to it much more passionately. I could sit here and chatter about it a lot more. What's one thing you think Rockstar added that nobody's even thinking about yet? Okay, the ability to change the nail color of Lucia, like her nail polish. I'm going to learn a lot about how women get ready in this game, I think. I think a lot of men are about to learn about how women do their makeup and how long it takes with Lucia. Let's see. I'm curious how in-depth they go. Do you think GTA 6 will change your content style at all or just amplify it? I think once it comes out, for sure change my content style, because I'll probably review the game for a bit and then try and move on to other things. I have no idea. So, in fact, a huge decision in my life is entirely based around what happens to my channel after Grand Theft Auto 6. Serious question. Do you think your first Grand Theft Auto 6 video will be more planned content or just 20 minutes of things going completely wrong in the most Andy way possible? I guess we got to test the game together. I don't know. I might actually just go through the game with y'all, and that's that. And I'll figure things out with you, and you guys will know things that I don't know, and you'll tell me about them. We'll have a conversation. Thanks for all the questions, Ghetto Guide. Jesus. All right, we're getting through this. I appreciate you guys, though. It's just, I'm tired, and I feel like, I don't know. I start to have self-doubts about people listening to stuff the further I get into stuff. It's just how it is. Big Germworm. Hey, what's up, buddy? You're back. Question. I doubt this will ever happen, but as a fellow Texan, whoa. Did I answer this? I did. I think you asked on both of them, so I'm going to go ahead and heart it. But yes, I would love a Grand Theft Auto in Texas, and I would love the cartels to be in it. Although, knowing how they operate, someone would probably get, funky-towned if they did that. Killer Cameron. Have you ever played the Saints Row games? Yes. In my opinion, Saints Row 2 is the closest any. Yep. Yeah, it's the closest it's ever gotten to GTA. Same with Sleeping Dogs. Yep. All the other Saints Rows are a little too out there, but Saints Row was its own thing, and it was cool until they did the reboot, and it was just fucking weird. I don't know what they were doing, but yeah, 100%. Love Saints Row. Saints Row 2 was really cool with the interior customization and stuff. And it was all about being fun, Those could come back. There's still room for you, There's still room for you, Saints Row, if you want to come back and not do the whole, I don't know what that was that came out. That was weird, though. That was unrelatable to, everyone. All right, now we have Maurice Epps. If GTA 6 does the Fortnite route where you can create your own games or servers, would you make one as well? And would that server consist of and be stay awesome? No, I would not. I don't have the time to. I barely have time to make videos for you guys. And I work 2 other jobs, yeah, on top of this. And I have a lot of stuff that I have to manage outside of work as well. So probably not, unless I could do this full time and had someone else run it. So yeah, that's why I haven't created a Discord. Although Vincent, can we use your Discord, man? Vincent created one. I'm putting you on the spot here. Mr. Talrack, will Jason and Lucia share a single pool of money or keep separate finances? Also, do you expect settlement-style homes or businesses? If so, how deep will customization roleplay go? That first question is a great one. I think it'll be separate, but I would love the idea to combine it, or the ability to choose whichever you do, like couples do. Me and my lady, we keep our finances separated, but we have like a system for how we accomplish things. So, it also makes things cleaner for you, and gives people more autonomy towards things. It just depends on what works for your couple. Oh, wait. This isn't marriage counseling. Yes, I think it'll probably be separate, but I also don't, because they are very heavy on the fact that these two protagonists are going to feel like one with how they play. So I think one account would make them a lot of sense too. Also, it'd be interesting if one character spends a lot of money on something, the other character can make comments on it like, damn it, Lucia, why'd you go and buy that M4? Like, now I can't go and buy a pack of smokes, stuff like that. It'd be interesting. Or why'd you go buy those shoes? Also, do you expect settlement-style homes or businesses? If so, how will customization and roleplay go? I hope so, but I don't think Rockstar has ever gone that deep. If they do that, that's something we're going to see online. But when it comes to like building settlements and stuff like that, I would love it. A lot of people love or hate building systems. Just give it to me. What you're going to see though instead is like probably like a location place to where you upgrade certain things, like your camp at Red Dead Redemption 2. Rockstar does stuff like that, to where you have a location, you can upgrade it. So we'll do stuff like that. Question, just more in depth. All right, now we got Anonymous Coward says, okay, Anonymous Coward says, question, do you think we'll get single player DLC this time? And what do you think it will be? New state, new character? I think we're finally going to get Undead Nightmare again. I'll just say that. Next question, the dude yo. Question, your take on Grand Theft Auto 6 Online? Grand Theft Auto 5 Online was a disaster at launch. Red Dead Redemption 2 Online flopped harder than my dad and flip-flops with his white socks and stupid hat. It sounds like you love your dad. Are they finally going to nail it this time? I hope so. And it sounds like everything's gearing up for them to just absolutely come out swinging. So yeah, I would say so. Question, Metal Gear, Red Dead Redemption, Fallout. And this is from Mr. Talrack. Question, Metal Gear, Red Dead Redemption, Fallout, marry, kill, but with franchises? What? I don't know what you're saying, but yes, I have them all connected in my stupid headcanon. Rap Legacy 7667. Question, do you think that we will have a detailed criminal organization in development in Grand Theft Auto Online? Yes. And you want it to use the actual hierarchy structure this time, as well as the ability to play as cops and ability for role playing. Yeah, I hope so. I want the players to be the cops in online. That would be so sick. Also, in Grand Theft Auto 5, they had like ranking systems and stuff, like with the motorcycle club and all that. It's just people didn't really do it, and they weren't really fleshed out. Like, come on, flesh out those roles, make clubs feel like roles. If you give people a hierarchy and you make it to where they have to exist in it, they're going to do it and they're going to love it. I don't know, but at the same time, it just depends on what you want. I don't know. But Rockstar games are made with dark magic, so we'll see. Pacific Pig. Question, what do you think of how the new leaks info seem to tie into things we saw in the first big leak? As a Grand Theft Auto 5 modder with some knowledge of how Rage works, I feel like a lot of people looked at those videos at face value rather than why they were made and what the devs were trying to show each other. From a technical view, I think some tie into more recent findings. Like, for example, the traffic system patent made me think back to a leaked video where Lucia was in the back of the truck and getting chased by police. If you look at it today, it almost becomes clear that they were trying to show that the left police car kept swerving into the sidewalk and crashing into things, almost like it was seeing the street parking as a lane and then was crashing, trying to swerve and avoid the sidewalk parts. To me, this would kind of line up with how testing and new traffic systems and how they would be having issues in their pathfinding. As in Grand Theft Auto 5, the police don't really seem to try to avoid things when they go off the path, and they just smash through it, even when trying to avoid it. It makes me wonder what other technical things were shown at first glance that just looked like a simple gameplay test. Oh man, I'm so tired that I don't even know. It's not even that I'm tired. That's a deep question, and that's something I think I would need to take the time to review the footage with. I will tell you that I think that to some extent, the police AI crashing into stuff is intentional because it's fun. So I don't know. But yeah, it sounds like you've done your research on this. If you find anything out from that, or if you have any new cool like observations based off the stuff you see like that, please share it with us. Share it with the classroom because we could learn a lot, especially because you've worked on the Rage engine. I've modded games, but I haven't worked in the Rage 9 engine. So let me know. I imagine it's very hard. Actually, well, no, I didn't work in the Rage 9 engine. I've done retextures in the world space through Open4, stuff like that. And stats, stuff like that. But it sounds like you might know a little bit more than me. So yeah, if you find anything else interesting, especially after trailer 3, from those leaks that we can kind of draw from, share that information with us, please. McSpanky69, with the recent advancements in AI, do you think the game was delayed to incorporate more AI features? No. Also, do you believe the Xbox Series S has held the game back? I think the delay is closer to performance and maybe like, hey, let's see if we can get these things in last second. And also just like the logistics of like money, when they want it, how they're going to optimize it. This is their biggest strategy release thing ever. So yeah, I think it has a lot more to do with the stars aligning for the corporate realm, if that makes sense, than it does, AI, stuff like that. But performance and optimization for sure. They were definitely still doing that. Even if it didn't need it, like if it was shippable, I'm sure that they were still working on that. Good question. And also, if you don't have a heart on your comments, I am so sorry because I noticed that YouTube sometimes doesn't add them even when I click it for whatever reason. Probably because I like mass do it. So if you don't get your heart, I'm sorry. All right. Double drop in E-Hunt in the Hunter. I'm sorry, man. Question, in Red Dead Redemption 2, we got hair growth and weight gain, loss, and we assume we'll have that in Grand Theft Auto 6 also. I believe, yeah, you can see it in the trailers. I believe we will also have the ability to get a sunburn if outside, yes, for an extended period of time without clothing coverage. Yes. What are your thoughts on sunburn and possibly other mechanics we could possibly see that we haven't seen before? Yes. You're going to be able to get sunburn and you're going to sweat a lot. And there's so much cool sun details like sunspots and stuff on people and sunburns. And yeah, you're going to be able to get sunburn in this game. It's going to be cool. Maybe sunblock will be like an actual equipable item. Wouldn't that be funny? And maybe Lucia will lather up Jason or something like that. Or maybe Jason will lather her up, Whoa, we're getting into a whole nother kind of game now. All right, let's move on. We got, is that an L or I don't know, Jetter987. Question, on a scale from 1 to 10, how likely do you think it is the squat rigs will be added to the game, including, squat racks, including the ability to build and drive them? Oh no, squat rigs, not racks. Also, what are your thoughts on squatted rigs in general? I personally wouldn't do that to my truck. Oh, but I think they're kind of funny and would be cool to build in game. Yes, I think we're going to see that in game. I personally probably won't. I don't know. Maybe I will have a squatted truck with like a closed bed and then have the big old Dandy Andy on the side. All right, now, Crazed Armadillo. How far do you think the slow and maybe tedious things will go in Grand Theft Auto 6? I know there was a subset of people who didn't like Red Dead Redemption 2 and made fun of how slow it was to loot and clean guns. Brushing your horse and slowly walking through camp with a carcass over your shoulder was a drag for some of my friends, but I always saw it as an excuse to take in the world for longer. Obviously, a very different setting. Who knows what Rockstar has taken from that criticism? And in their profitable Grand Theft Auto Online, there's not much that isn't action-packed. That isn't fast and action-packed. Also, how far do you want it to go into that kind of stuff? I think I already know your answer, but would love to hear you yap about your speculations more. Thanks for asking. I think things will be a little faster than they were in Red Dead Redemption. In Red Dead Redemption 2, a little faster, just a little bit. They were kind of slowed down in 5 too. Like if you were to go into your house and sit down, smoke, do the things that Red Dead Redemption 2 has, a lot of those interaction points. I think 6 will have a lot of that. But overall, you're not going to be pulling cans of beans off of counters nearly as often. And I don't know, looting bodies is something you do in Red Dead Redemption 2, but you don't do that in Grand Theft Auto games. So I think that's probably why it feels slower, because in Grand Theft Auto, you just walk over the weapons to get the ammo. And then in Red Dead Redemption 2, of course, you have to bend over, pick up the dude, check his clothes, and drop him back down. I think that was a big point that made things feel a lot slower. So something in between that, maybe. Yeah, GTA Online is fast and action-packed, but you got to remember it's been a ramp up of a decade. So they're going to have to do that all over again with Grand Theft Auto 6 Online. I'd imagine that they're not going to go just for like the boom action-packed kind of stuff right up the front because, I don't know, you kind of lose the, like things, you don't want that to be your gimmick. You want it to be that the core design of it is good enough that that keeps players coming back, playing over and over again, and rely less on like the whole like shock on like an awe of, look, you could fly around on a bike and shoot missiles at people, stuff like that. So we'll see. Hopefully they strike a good sweet spot to where we have a lot of that fun craziness, but also a nice blend of realism, a good old helping of it. So we'll see. Anyways, thanks for the question. Really appreciate you asking. Steel City 237. Do you think life underwater is going to be more alive in Grand Theft Auto 6? Oh yeah. Look at the screenshot with the life underwater. Yeah. Oh yeah. Way more than 5. Yeah, I'm going to move on because this thing has been running forever. Now we have Drew Oliveras 97. Do you think Lucia's boxing glove necklace pendant is actually a keepsake for her dad's ashes? Oh, you asked about this in the other one. No. But I do think it was her dad's. Don't decant. Question, would you rather play compromised versions of Grand Theft Auto 6 for PS5 and PS5 Pro or wait until PS6 drops and play the uncompromising and all-encompassing version of GTA 6? For me, I'd rather wait for GTA 6 one more year if they can have it ready for next-gen consoles than have them, like a compromised 6-year ancient tech. Oh, well, I'll tell you this. Well, hold on. Imagine if they can squeeze in so much in 6-year-old tech, how much awesome it could be, the latest tech. Then they go crazy. I know they also want to sell more. Yeah, I'm going to play it for sure. I played Red Dead Redemption 2 on the PS4 and I thought it was a marvelous experience. I thought it was just as good as the PC. I mean, yeah, there's some graphical differences in the frame rate and stuff like that, but it's the same game and it's still just as beautiful. For the visual fidelity that you gain, personally, I don't understand wanting to wait a year. That's you and that's fine. So yeah, I'll be there at the get-go. I'll buy a PS5 Pro just to play it and then probably sell it. Or give it away to one of y'all. Maybe. If I get rid of it, that's what I'll do. If I ever get the PC version or something. So yeah. Also, excuse me, as I've been saying a lot in this podcast, I really enjoy the communal aspect of a game release. Big time. Like midnight releases aren't really a thing anymore, and they used to be. And there was something so special about standing in line with a bunch of stinky nerds waiting for a game to drop at midnight and everyone just being so excited about it. It was so special, man. And, and then keeping up with your friends and be like, where you at in it? Where you at? So I want to be there when it happens, especially because I have to cover it on the channel, right? Like I can't be a Grand Theft Auto 6 channel and be like, I'll wait until the PC release. I mean, I could, but I want to play it. So we'll see. All right. But yes, I can't imagine how good it's going to look on the PC stuff. I don't know how games could get any better looking at this point. They look better than anything I ever thought we would have gotten when I was a kid. Cam the Man 32. What's up, man? Question. Hey, Andy. Hope you are well. Thanks, man. Was happy to see a video talking about the economy of Grand Theft Auto 6. That's been a major concern of mine. Kind of basing off of a quick talk of the new Red Dead. Just as an imaginative idea, what era would you love Rockstar to make a game in? I love the Mafia games in LA Noire, but I've always wanted a GTA Red Dead game and a Prohibition era. Yes! And Grand Theft Auto 6 going Bonnie and Clyde style, really amped up. Yes! I'd love Mob Boss style game of moving booze and robbing banks. See, this guy gets it. Cam the Man gets it. Take us to Texas as 1925 all the way to 1938. Let's do it. No, screw it. Put us in Texas, 1920 to 1950. Let's go. Red Theft Auto. Grand Theft Redemption. Something like that. Yeah, that. And have there be tornadoes. And I'm so sorry about the throat clearing, guys. I've been talking for so long now that it's catching up to me. All right. Big Germworm. Hey, he's back. Question 2. Do you think we are getting our hopes up for Rockstar actually listening to fans and giving us what we want? Ability to revisit Liberty City, Los Santos, story DLCs. I think we are considering there have been no DLC since Undead Nightmare. I think they are more focused on making money from online. Yes, but listen, those places that we would revisit would happen in Grand Theft Auto Online. These DLCs that would happen would probably be story DLCs in online. But I do think, because how big it is and the money behind it, they're going to be seeing figures they've never seen before. So I don't know. It's kind of funny. It would be like when Grand Theft Auto 4 came out and you had the Grand Theft Auto 4s online, speculating about, do you think Grand Theft Auto 5's online is going to last 10 years and make all this money and have properties you can buy and stuff? People would be like, that's never happened before. Well, no, duh, it's never happened before. You got to move forward, you got to innovate. So if it sounds bigger and better than it was before, that's the goal. So yeah, I think we'll see single player DLCs again. I think it would be really stupid of them not to. And I understand them not wanting to. It depends on online. I'll just say that. It depends on online, but I think online's going to land in a way, at least initially, to where we're going to end up with some single player DLC before it really blossoms, the online mode. That's what I personally think. We'll see. Daddy Blocker, do you think, or a question, you think the dating, oh my God, I am like, the text is blurring together, guys. You think dating in that game will be like past GTA 4 with Nico talking or taking them to bowling alleys and all, or like Cyberpunk, which I enjoyed? Just wondering what you think is it cheating to has some part in that. Okay, so you're asking if there's going to be a dating system in the game. And if there's going to be like cheating and stuff. Yeah, that would be an interesting mechanic, but then I don't see why it wouldn't be in the game, because it would really work well with Lucia, you know? So, and Jason, you know, just like the commenting to each other. There's so much relationship potential in this game with like things you could do. The other one can comment on, like, hey, you're looking a little fat. Hey, what did you spend all of our money on? You know, stuff like that. I hope they really go into that. If you're going to do two protagonists, don't just have two protagonists. Do two protagonists, you know? And I think they are this time. Z4D0R342. Question. Not really a question, more like a prediction. All right, so end of April, early May. We're coming up on the end of April. Some sort of artwork box cover reveal. Okay. You're speculating Thursday, April 30th. Character trailers for Jason and Lucia instead of traditional trailer. 3, you're predicting early May. Pre-orders go live. June to July, marketing begins to slowly ramp up with screenshots, some form of developer-related content. End of August to September, marketing really starts to begin. Grand Theft Auto 6 starts appearing everywhere, reaches people who aren't actively following it. Gameplay trailer releases. October, short-form clips for social media, some sort of Grand Theft Auto 6 online info. November, full marketing saturation, TV commercials, ads, sponsored posts, radio, billboards, bus stops, and physical media, etc. Launch trailer. Yeah. Also, don't forget World War III. Even though you'll probably lose a few viewers when the game comes out, you've become my main YouTuber, not just a GTA 6 YouTuber, not just a Rockstar YouTuber, but my favorite YouTuber. And it's been years since I've been so hyped when a video from a specific channel comes out. You're in some way. Hope that's not weird. A friend. Shout out from Brazil. Much love. That's not weird at all, my brother. Much love to you. That means a great deal. A great deal. Thank you, man. I think it's just, you know, people, I don't want to speak too much to that, but I do work on other channels for a living, and I just want to beat these people over the head. I'm like, look, just be real, man. Like, just be real. People just want you to be real. That's all it takes. Just be real and then provide value, you know, if you don't do either of those things, you know. So I really appreciate that. And I'm glad, like, you know, in doing this, we were able to kind of hit it off and become buddies in this way, you know. It's strange. This is the way that we communicate, you know, but it's not cringy. It's not weird. I really appreciate you saying that, man. And hope you're doing all right. And Brazil's cool. You guys still listen to metal. So yes, you do. In fact, my number one listener base for my metal band is from Brazil. So got a lot of love for Brazil in my heart. So I hope you're doing okay, buddy. All right, hopefully that's the last time I clear my throat. We're getting close to the end of this, though. Golden Joshua. I've shouted you out before. Question, do you think that GTA 6 multiplayer would be more like 5M or GTA Online? Somewhere in between. Next question. I feel like I karate chopped that question, but you know, based on the stuff we've already answered, kind of what I'm expecting. Inspired 593 question. I've been thinking about something for a while now, and I figured that this might be the best place to ask. even though I'm not entirely sure if it actually fits here or if it's even something that has a real answer. But I guess that's kind of the part of what I'm trying to figure out. Like, have you ever noticed how sometimes when you're watching a video, especially like one like this, where things are happening at a certain pace, you start to wonder not necessarily about what's directly in front of you, but about the small, almost unnoticeable details that could be connected in ways that don't really change anything, but still feel like they might matter somehow, even if only in a very abstract or completely unnecessary way. And I don't mean in a deep philosophical sense or anything like that. More like when you suddenly realize you've been focusing on something random in the background for way too long, way longer than you intended. And then you start asking yourself why you noticed it in the first place and whether other people noticed it too. Or if it's just one of those things your brain decided to lock onto for no real reason, which then leads to wondering if those kinds of thoughts are actually meaningful or if they're just filler your mind creates to pass time while something else is happening. But then again, if it is just filler, does that mean it's completely pointless? Or does the fact that it exists at all give it some kind of accidental importance, even if nobody acknowledges it? And if that's the case, could you technically say that every small, drawn-out thought process like this has some level of significance simply because it managed to hold your attention long enough to make you question it? Well, that's relative, right? Or is that just overthinking something that was never meant to be thought about? Nothing was meant to happen. That was never meant to be thought about this much in the first place. And I guess what I'm really getting at is, although I'm not sure if I actually am getting at anything at all, is whether or not there's ever a clear point where a thought stops being worth continuing, or if the act of continuing is what creates the illusion that there was a point all along. And even then, even when there wasn't one to begin with. Love you, Andy. Keep up the great work, cousin. Well, meaning's all about what you assign to it, and there's no absolute one truth, unless you believe in Jesus, you know. But if you don't, even if you do, it can get more complex than you think. The human mind can't comprehend, I think, the full nature of our reality. And so that's why it's become increasingly good at pattern recognition. Patterns help us detect threats. Focusing on things might even be an exercise for your mind to develop something like that. Choosing to focus on something intentionally and assigning it meaning just because is you exercising your free will. I looked at a crack on a playground when I was a kid, and I thought, there's nobody in the world at all, out of all of us on this planet, that's looking at this crack right now, considering it, thinking about it, except for me. I'm the only one. It's just me and this crack on the ground. Nobody else. There ain't a kid in China thinking about it right now. It's just me. So sometimes we do things like that, I think, to assign meaning. Whether or not it's important or meaningful, there's no one else to say that. That's for you to decide. You assign meaning. You assign purpose. That kind of stuff. And if you're doing it to pass time or whatever, then, or it's just if you got really high or something, it's okay. You can be honest. But yeah, I get what you mean. It sounds like, are you in maybe perhaps your late teens, early 20s, and a dude thinking about stuff? It sounds like that kind of thoughts around the time, that age. This sounds like when those thoughts would be had. Anyways, hope you're all right. Hope that kind of answered your question. Good luck finding meaning in your life and purpose. I think that we can all agree that it's better for all of us to help one another and do the right thing, though. No matter what, if there's a guy in the sky, if you believe in Jesus, I'm not being cynical when I say that either. If there's a God that you believe in, and, that's why you exercise, doing positive things or whatever, hopefully it doesn't take that to make you a good person. Hopefully you're like that, even if we die and the lights go out. So, I don't know. Anyways, onward through this existential journey. All right, Castro, EUX 9171. Question: what are some features that other games have that you think might be cool to see in Grand Theft Auto 6 at least an advanced version of it? I want to see an advance on the physics system, and we're going to. You asked a lot of questions, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Question: do you think the stock market investing will be back and more advanced? Also, the ability to manipulate it outside of ramifications of missions. So let's say I go into a robbing spree at a gas station or 7-Eleven. Would it lose value and I can invest in game? Let's see. Let's see if they do this system again, or let's see if they just leave it. They might do the system again, but I think we're going to see some dramatically different stuff. So we'll see. What games do you have on your radar to play? And what have you played in the past that has stuck with you in a big way? What games do you recommend that we can check out and maybe talk about later? I play PS5, by the way. I do like PC gamers. I do like to see PC gamers play with their mods, though. Subnautica is an outstanding game. If you can play Subnautica, I don't know if it's a console game. It might be. I think it's a console game as well. Resident Evil 2, or no, Resident Evil, the 2002 remake. Play that. That's amazing. Really hard. Really good. Anything from Metal Gear Solid. Starfield, been playing that. Grand Theft Auto 5, been playing that. New Vegas, been playing that. Cyberpunk, I'm trying to finish it. Baldur's Gate, still need to finish it. Been having those games going on for years. In fact, to the point where I'm like going to start over and then it's like I'm never going to finish it. You know how it goes. Games on my radar, though. I do have quite a bit. So what I do is on Steam is I actually create I'm sure you guys sort it too if you use Steam. Like I put something called new experiences in a folder. And right now, this is collected over years, okay? New experiences. I have 7 Days to Die. I've played a little bit of it, but I haven't done anything. I haven't built anything or anything. I've watched a YouTuber guy on it too. I have Alan Wake in there, Assassin's Creed Origins, BioShock Remastered, and some of these I've already played. BioShock 2, BioShock Infinite, Days Gone, Dead Space, Death Stranding, Director's Cut, Dishonored, Dishonored 2, Doom 3, Europa Universalis 4. I'm probably not going to go back through that. Frostpunk 2, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, God of War, Green Hell, Hades. I've played Green Hell. I got a Hitman Absolution and Hit World of Assassination here. LA Noire. I've played it before, but it's been so long. I have The Last of Us Part 1 and 2 in here. It's been so long. I got The Long Dark. I've got Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Again, gone through them back in the day on the 360, but I haven't gone through them on the, Legendary Edition. No Man's Sky, I wasn't a huge fan. Outer Wilds, haven't played it. Pacific Drive, Papers, Please, great game. I haven't played it all the way to the end, though. A Plague Tale, Innocence, never played it. Planet Coaster, played a little bit, really tedious on the building. Portal 2, beat the first one, have never played the second one. Project Zomboid, then I've got Resident Evil 0, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Village, and then I got RoboCop, Sleeping Dogs, Stardew Valley, Total War Warhammer 3, U-Boat, Undertale, The Walking Dead, the Telltale Definitive Thing. I played through the first season, and then I lost my save. So, because I played on the Switch. So, and you can't bring it over on the PC. So I got to play it all over again. My brother recently went through it though and said it was absolutely outstanding. I've got Witcher 2, Witcher 3, Wolf Among Us, XCOM Enemy Unknown, XCOM 2, and XCOM Chimera Squad. So that is everything I have on my radar to play. I also have some stuff wishlisted though. And y'all tell me if these are any good, because I don't know. I don't want to commit to this if I'm not going to actually play it. Okay, for first off, I think this is like the game everyone wish lists. I've had Universe Sandbox on my wish list for, I think, years. I've been waiting for it to go to $10. I don't think it ever will. Right now it's on sale for $20. Not doing it. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I don't know. Probably going to wait forever on that. I still haven't beaten the first. Factario. I don't know if I'll ever see the light of day again if I touch that game. Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 to 2.5 remix. It was fun when it happened. Maybe it's time to let it go. Ghost of Tsushima. I really want to play that. Resident Evil Requiem. I'm trying to collect and go through all the Resident Evils. So, and I would love to do that with you guys. Then we have Kingmakers, which GamerRanks got me to learn about this back in, well, it was a year ago now. A year ago since GamerRanks did a video about this Kingmakers game, and I added it to my wish list. And then I watched Masters of the Sky, Masters of the Air, something like that. It's one of those Tom Hanks Spielberg World War II stories, similar to Band of Brothers in the Pacific. And now they did one about the Army Air Division or Army Air Corps or whatever. And so it's about the bombers flying over France. So I got B-17 Flying Fortress, the Bloody 100th. It's made by a very small team, but literally it lets you fly those bombers and be in different roles on those bombers. Really interested in that. Not to be announced yet. Same with Kingmakers. Might never come out. So we'll see. I hate that about games. Like, give me a release date. Yeah. All right. And then we went on a tangent there. But what games are y'all playing? Y'all talk to me about your games. Question. You mentioned Mafia. Have you ever played Mafia 3? Yeah, a little bit. I'm not a huge fan. Do you think the Sentry/Call the Police system might be the modern comparison of that? Or even how Red Dead Redemption 2 had it? Red Dead Redemption 2 had it for sure. Question. All right, so now we move on to Selsmich Adler. Question. When Trailer 3 drops, Can you make an 8-hour video again? Hey, that's a good idea. I should do that with absolutely every single thing I've done up to this point and make it like the 48-hour GTA 6 hype video. Love it. Citric Light 4832. Question. I'm pretty sure you've covered this before, but do you think we might get to explore a cruise ship? Other than it just being there. Also, guys, if you hear a little kid, I'm sorry, Willow's kid's over. Yeah, she has a kid. All right. So you said, I'm pretty sure you have covered this before, but do you think we might get the explore a cruise ship so you want to explore a cruise ship? I don't expect it to be a miniature city like real life. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I think we're going to have more interiors than ships and stuff. Midnight Snack 327. Question. I remember in a previous video, you mentioned playing the game Squad. It seems similar to a game I play called Hell Let Loose. Have you played? Yes, I've played Hell Let Loose. Not super hyped for the Vietnam thing yet. I love, like, Battlefield Vietnam was great. I'm just not hyped for it because I don't play Hell Let Loose. I play Squad and Squad 44 previously postscriptum. But I need to get back into Hell Let Loose. But do they use a ballistic system or is it hit scan? Can someone answer that? All right. Because that's going to be the make it or break it. I like ballistics. I like bullets actually traveling and stuff in real time. It's really cool. Question. When GTA 6 drops, will you do a playthrough video and break the game down? You'll have unlimited content for the channel and we'll keep this thing going for a long time, I'm sure. The first video can be what leaks rumors turned out. Yeah, I'll do a little bit. It won't be enough to keep the channel alive forever, but I'll probably start I'll do whatever feels right. How about that? I'll do what feels right. And that's about all I could promise. So we'll see. But I appreciate you caring, like big time. Nigel Poku, Monzu 984. Question, what is your prediction for trailer 3? In Grand Theft Auto 5, we got 3 trailers for each character. Do you think they'll stick with that formula for the Bonnie and Clyde story, or could we expect something different? Maybe city trailers. Ooh, I like the idea of city trailers. I think we're going to get some character trailers because they've done that since forever, since Bully, I think, and even before that. But I think they did that with San Andreas as well. And Vice City. Yeah, we're probably going to get character trailers. But yeah, I love the idea of city trailers. All right, Grumpy Old Nord. You mentioned the dark and scary stuff in the swamp in Red Dead Redemption 2, and now all I want is the Night Folk in Grand Theft Auto 6. So here's a question. Do you think we'll see the Night Folk or something like them? Yes. I think this time in the swamps out in the middle of nowhere, there's going to be a bunch of spooky, creepy crawlies that can kill us. And I cannot wait to go out there. I hope there's like a witch, like crazy witchcraft stuff. Make it just absolutely survival horror terrifying. Just go nuts with it. Rockstar, please scare the pants off of us. Question. Have you ever had a cut with a Band-Aid on one of your fingers and you go to the bathroom to dump and you go to wipe, but the toilet paper gets stuck to the Band-Aid, and as you pull your hand away, it kind of smears doo-doo on one of your cheeks? Oh, you meant a question about the game. Okay, to get around that, wrap toilet paper around your Band-Aid or make sure that the adhesive side is closed down by, apply pressure to the sides. You can also use a lighter on the left or right of your Band-Aid, but don't do that. You'll burn yourself. Oh, you meant a question about the game. Okay, do you think in Grand Theft Auto 6, you could get toilet paper stuck to Band-Aids on cuts on your hand in the game? I'm hoping so. I'm very much one for realism. And if someone has this happen, we'll see. LOL, just trying to make you laugh, buddy. Keep up the great work, dude. You made me internally laugh. I'm sorry. I'm kind of out of it right now. And thank you for all this awesome content. Thanks for being you, man. I really appreciate that, repair guy at work. And if you're a repair guy who's currently at work, I hope you're having a great day and your customers aren't bitching and complaining. And I hope it's a good one. Red Lad 95. Question, how graphic do you think the game will be? Like, will we have decapitation and limb removal like Red Dead Redemption 2? Also hope life eases up for you, man. Man, I really appreciate that. We were talking about this earlier. I think they'll probably try and soften it a little, but I really hope they don't. And then also, I don't know, I go back and forth on it a lot for various reasons. But reasons being that, in Red Dead Redemption 2, it makes sense for a big spaghetti Western to have all this violence and stuff like that. And do y'all hear Willow out there? And then not only that, but in not Red Dead Redemption 2, but in Grand Theft Auto 5, they had it like significantly dumbed down because, it's like a real world setting and stuff like that. There's been a bunch of shootings in the real world, a bunch of terrible stuff. They don't want that live leak kind of stuff. You know how it is. So I don't know. Who knows, man? When you're something as big as that, maybe you have the CIA coming and be like, you will not put dismemberment in your games. Who knows? All right. Deja D. Question. I know you've previously talked about things that were supposed to be in Grand Theft Auto 4 that were cut out. Have you ever thought about making a video about those things scrapped from GTA games? Yeah, but there's already videos that do a fantastic job of that you can look up and find on YouTube. Sniper 2033. Do you think the multiplayer will be the same as the single player? No. I'm having all of these connected systems running simultaneously for possibly dozens of players across a map has got to be taxing for the servers. Love your videos. I watched the whole 3-hour one, even after watching most of them before the start. So I'm excited for GTA 6 to come out on PC. Don't have a PS yet. I don't either. Hang in there. Multiplayer will be separate from single player. And what else did you ask? Thank you for saying you love the videos. There's an 8-hour video if you want to go watch that. And maybe before Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, I'll be the ultimate troll and do like a 50-hour video or something. Twigs01. Question. Do you think that we will be stuck on 30 FPS or could they have a trick up their sleeve to improve frames? Love your videos. Thanks, man. No. I think we'll be hard capped at 30 FPS for the graphic fidelity that'll be on offer. And that's all right. I don't know why people hate 30 FPS. Like that was just the standard back in the day for a playable game. If anything under 30 FPS was bad, 30 FPS was like good. Nowadays, it's like this obsession with 60 and even higher. It's insane. Like 60, I don't know. It's like, a movie runs at 23 or a movie runs at 24 frames per second or sometimes 23.976. Like it'll be all right. If it's stable, you won't even notice. It's when a game isn't stable and it dips that you start to notice that 30 FPS. You'll forget it's 30 FPS if you play it long enough, I promise. Go back and play Halo 3, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And you'll be like, wow, this game's a slideshow. It's pretty insane. It just takes some getting used to. If it's smooth, it'll be all right. Now, maybe on PlayStation Pro, which is why I'm getting that, because I'm hoping we do get an increased FPS thing, maybe up to 48, 60. We'll see. This is why I like gaming on PC. But it's not coming to PC for a year. All right, Ryan Sims 9950. Question, when Grand Theft Auto 6 releases, will you post your story mode walkthrough and regular videos and not just stream kind of like the Rad Brad does as long as you are enjoying the gameplay and are getting views? Sure, I don't know. Well, we'll do whatever feels right. I'll probably find a unique way of doing things. We'll see. Thanks for commenting. Roaster 11, Psycho 11, sorry. Hey Andy, love your videos. They are great. Thanks. Question, how do you think Rockstar will merge the Red Dead Redemption immersion and simulation with GTA Chaos? I keep going back to those beans. So let's find something else. Maybe in like the slowness of your animations. They're sped up a lot more. But you still have all those same features and things you could do in Red Dead Redemption 2. It's just you do them faster. Really, that's it. Animation speed is a big thing. Also, you don't have to loot people in Grand Theft Auto. Maybe you can now, but in Red Dead Redemption 2, I think that slowed things down a lot for people. So, Avian 9068. Question, from trailer 1 and 2, it looked like there was quite a high NPC density. For a great example of this, you can look at the beach shot from trailer 1. Do you think we will see this high of an amount when it comes to NPC density, or do you think it will get scaled back? I think that's like probably the peak of NPC density that you will see in the game. Like, I don't think it will get denser, So I think that's the peak right there, I think we'll see it. Endure Survive 93. First off, just want to say thank you for all your videos. You're the only YouTuber I get excited for new videos from and enjoy my time when listening. Well, thanks, man. I will be here after the monsoon hits, that is Grand Theft Auto 6, because you seem to have the same interest in games as I do. That's awesome. Question, what do you think the pre-order kits will be like when this drops? Do you think it'll be like Red Dead Redemption 2 situation where you get the Ultimate Edition for all content in the game and then pay separately for all collector's editions and physical goodies? Dude, I have no idea. I've just always bought the game at midnight release. I just want the damn paper map, okay? I'll be real. Just give me my paper map and no one gets hurt. So, that's all I want, my paper map. So, we'll see. There's no use in speculating with the pre-order goodies. They'll let us know, and they'll probably do something kind of unique. Question, do you think vehicles would be more speed accurate? Well, it depends on the distance, that you travel. Like jets in Grand Theft Auto 5 are incredibly slow, but they feel fast, right? It's all about an illusion. Do you want them to be accurate or do you want them to feel accurate? I'll answer your question with that question. All right, now we have Ramiel Salami 5469. Question: do you think the PC gamers can avoid spoilers until they get a PC port? No, I do not. Not at all. How long do you think the wait would be? Oh, you asked this in the other video. A year? And no, I don't think you can avoid the spoilers. Hawks fan Matt Man. Can't remember if you've covered this yet or not, but I'm curious what you think the future of Rockstar will be a few years down the line after GTA 6 drops. And a few people theorize that GTA 7 will... I've answered these. What is happening? Did we enter a new universe? Okay, hold on. Did I get through all of your questions? No, I didn't. Oh, but I'm so close. No, almost. Okay, I did answer this about the dating in Grand Theft Auto 4 and Cyberpunk. Motorbikes from leaks. Yes, there's motorcycles. Is that what you mean? There's going to be motorcycles. And then question, do you think it will have an advanced social media, like posting videos, AI reactions, and if possible, other AIs posting videos or a way? Yeah, I think there is going to be some weird like AI social media system and stuff like that. And if you look in Grand Theft Auto 5, some of the bare bones for this was kind of there, like just having social media accounts. Grand Theft Auto 4 too. I think there's going to be some sort of system that makes them feel alive with updates and stuff like that. Sorry, I skipped some of your names there. So that was Daddy Blocker, Grinamidaskaya. Dude, I can't even talk. Jovan Yay 5DR. As I swear, you guys create names for the internet that aren't meant to be pronounced. George Harwell 8515. Okay. Do you think 2K will play a part in helping Rockstar develop the basketball? See, I'm getting some repeats. I don't know why. Okay, man, 9684. Do you think GTA 6 will improve drastically with time like GTA 5, where with each update, Rockstar adds unique improvements and stuff? Yada yada. Will they add more AI enhancements? I think we answered this, but yes, I do think that. Lil Rob May 4826 question: what are your plans with the channel when GTA 6 comes out? I have no idea, homie. I'd honestly enjoy gameplay videos if that's something you'd want to do. I'm down. It seems like a lot of you are asking, so yeah, I'd be down. Gabriel Hook 9420 question: what do you think would be better? Going to a midnight release to get a physical copy of Grand Theft Auto 6 or a digital download? And do you think it's possible they would add DLCs like Liberty? Of course, the midnight release, dude. Of course. It's the community aspect. Everyone there, someone's going to be like, Grand Theft Auto 6. And everyone's going to be like, yeah, you know. And then everyone gets it together like, oh my God, I got it. And they like run out of the store. Dude, it's so much fun. And then the driving home and the car accidents. All right. And do you think it's possible that they would add DLCs like Liberty City? Yeah. And I talked about this earlier in the podcast. Yeah, and online. Would make sense being that Lucia is from there. Maybe like Guarma situation, love your hard work. I think we might even go back to Vice City in the story, like a Guarma situation. Oh, that is what you're saying. Hey, he's onto something. We know like they like to do that in Rockstar games. We'll see. Mr. Monkey Lives. I'm sorry, dude. Hey, Andy, big fan of the channel. I was wondering how you think the user-generated content side of Grand Theft Auto 6 would work. I haven't seen anyone talk about it directly. Given that in the past few months, Rockstar has been leaning more toward user-generated content, it's been making me more curious. Me and a few buddies use Rockstar's tools to create other content, and I was hoping to get realistic idea of tools GTA 6 would have. With a pinch of salt, obviously. Love the content too, man. And keep it, and keep at it, and you're definitely my top guy when it comes to Grand Theft Auto 6 stuff. And I can't wait to see what direction your channel goes in. Man, I really appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you. As far as tools and everything they're going to use for user-generated content, I'm just going to be honest. I don't know off the top of my head. I wish I did. But no, I do not know. But good question. Tell you what, I'll keep my eyes peeled, ears peeled, whatever. Whatever comes out, I'll cover. And all right, Golden Joshua. What's up? Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was orange. And GTA 4 was dark, but GTA 5 had normal lighting. Do you wish the same for GTA 6, or would you prefer maybe blue, purple, pink lighting? I like your blue, purple, pink lighting idea. I think 5 had a thing going on, but it was like just very intense saturation, and then a lot of diffusion. And then 4, yeah, it had the gloom, a lot of grays, a lot of dark blues and stuff like that. And San Andreas, yeah, a lot of orange. I think we're going to see a wide variety of stuff the way we did in Red Dead Redemption 2 in this next game. So we'll see how it goes. But I am really excited to see how it goes. We'll just have to wait and see. And I said the same thing like 5 times. I'm sorry. So now we have the Tactical Grim. Question: do you expect Grand Theft Auto 6 on launch or at some point in the future to have interactive AI-style NPCs where you can have a conversation with them in real time, similar or to how you could speak to ChatGPT. I think we're moving that way, like with games in general, but I hope that we don't go there at the same time, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's just something feels really weird about having an AI and everything like that, talking to it. I mean, a lot of us have talked to ChatGPT, but I don't know. It just feels like it would be kind of strange, right? Wouldn't it? I mean, I don't know. Maybe just put it in the game and let me figure it out then, What do you guys think? Is that something you would be okay with? Because it would be pretty crazy. I know that they did stuff like that with Skyrim and all that, like with a mod, and there was like some sort of showcase or whatever with it. So we know that the technology is heading in that direction, but we'll just have to wait and see. I think eventually we are going to get there, but I don't know if that's something I'd necessarily want, especially when in Grand Theft Auto, imagine you go on a killing spree. Like, no, I have a kid, please stop, all that kind of stuff. It'd be absolutely terrible. So, I don't know. We'll see. All right. Do you think we will have a GTA 5 system of seeing health and armor? Or do you think we will have a cores like Red Dead? I think we'll have the cores. I hope we have the cores. It'll probably be something between. I do prefer the core system. All right. Now we have Crazy Pingu. And I'm going to have to hurry up because I need to help Willow. Question, do you expect Rockstar to have the complete 1.0 version of Grand Theft Auto 6 on physical the day it launches? And if so, how many discs do you think it will be on? I have no idea, homie. I know they have track record of putting their games on physical, and if anything, I expect a minimum of 2 discs, if not 3, if the game exceeds 200 gigabytes. I think 2 discs with the Blu-rays. I hope 3. Just do 3 to be a flex. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Sorry, I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions left. So we're going to breeze through these fast. All right. Castro, EUX 9171. Question, do you think the traffic and overall laws will be more punishable? So running a red light, driving a stolen vehicle, etc. No on the red light, yes on the stolen vehicle. Inspired 593. Question, I'm a really big fan of simple but deep cooking sim games. Did you like the cooking in Breath of the Wild? I'm just asking you. After Red Dead Redemption 2's campfire cooking, do you think we will see some actual kitchen cooking mini game or something like with role play? Maybe even see some restaurant work, like a 9-to-5 type gig. Maybe not working in the restaurant, but imagine going into restaurants with Lucia on a date in a restaurant, experiencing restaurant culture, and that way actually getting served and some sort of dialogue options, if that exists at all. I don't know about cooking. It would be really interesting to see Lucia cook. Maybe one partner has to cook for the other, and the other one talks crap about it or something. It would be interesting. We'll see. Sage Stevens, 4893. Question, second time I'm asking this, but do you know how drug dealing is going to be a function in Grand Theft Auto 6? We had every reason to believe that for GTA 5 with Trevor's business, but they never expanded on it beyond a fancy set dressing. Just because we have SS doesn't mean it's going to be more than set dressing. We'll see. I don't know. I think that everything's shaping up to be big drug businesses and everything in the game. Like I almost 100% certain you're going to be running big drug businesses in the game. Pancake 6613. 2 questions for you. If the trailer hasn't released yet at this point, what do you think will happen to Take-Two stock when trailer 3 releases? So it's going to go up. As of writing, this is 4/16/2026, and as of responding to you, it is 3:05 p.m. at 4/21/2026. The stock ticker price is currently 204. I could see it going up by at least 10% after the trailers. Yes, it will go up. In terms of customization, do you think they will allow us to do makeup for Lucia? Yes. What different customization options would we? Yeah, that's confirmed. Would we have now that we have a female protagonist? Anything a woman does, go ask her what they do to get ready. You'll be surprised. They have to do so much crap to get ready for the day. It's insane. That's why your grandma was up at like 4 or 5 in the morning and then like ready to go to church at 8. I mean, they got to put their face on. Is there an option that Lucia can do that and Jason can't? Would love your thoughts on this. It would be funny if Lucia like does Jason's makeup to mess with him or something. I don't know. There's so many cute couple possibilities in this game. I'll say that. And I've got to move on because I've got to get off this thing because I've got to help Willow. Super Striker 412. Question, do you think we'll ever see any IPs from Rockstar or possibly reviving abandoned IPs like Midnight Club or Manhunt? We were talking about this earlier. I don't think so with Manhunt anymore. Maybe not so much. Maybe Midnight Club. I've noticed Rockstar doesn't seem to want to experiment with stuff like that anymore. On one hand, yeah, they're kind of out of that phase. On one hand, that's good because they can focus on perfecting Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto, but at the same time, development Time is getting longer and longer to the point where I'm starting to lose interest in waiting, but I digress. I feel you, dog. I don't think we're ever going back to the experimental phase, but I'll answer your question with another question. How comfortable are you with AI assisting the creation of future content? Because that's the only real way you're going to get it faster. Now, depending whatever your answer is, I could agree with probably because I have a big backlog. So, Super Striker 412, do you think we'll ever see any new IPs from Rockstar or possibly reviving abandoned IPs like Midnight Club? Wait, I just read that. Jesus. You guys have fried my brain. I have 3 questions left. Stegioni, question. In the US political climate where every day something new and insane seems to happen, do you think Rockstar will add to the gameplay periodically through the updates with satirical takes on current events to keep it feeling fresh? Yes, in online mode they will. Thanks for keeping it authentic, man. All the best from the UK. Oh man, I bet you guys are having a field day with us right now. I hope so. I hope so. There's been a lot of things that have been very questionable happening here. I don't give a crap if you lean left, lean right. There's a bunch of stuff that I think all of us as Americans could say that's not good for the country. So, anyways, on to I like cartoons 3543. Question: are there any patents that relate to specific body parts of characters like hands or feet? I ask this because I believe actually holding things more realistically would be a step up in this game. I'll look into that. I don't know. Real Fox Fam 77. Question: do you think we will have to refuel our cars? That's an element that I would love to see. Imagine you are driving on the highway and you realize you are running low. So you stop at a small town and you have never been and you get some gas. You begin exploring for a while. And before you know it, you went from needing to get some gas to continue wherever it was you were going. And now you spend an hour doing something you never would have expected otherwise because you stopped to get gas. Yes, this is the reason I love immersion features like that. It's because they take you off the beaten path and they make things a lot more interesting. I don't think we're going to have a fuel system. If so, I hope it's toggleable. I mean, Starfield knocks it out of the park with the gameplay options. Talk crap all you want. Starfield does have some good options when it comes to gameplay options. And I love the way that mods are implemented with the gameplay options. That said, Grand Theft Auto, give us the tools, give us the freedom, give us all of the abilities to turn these things off or on to enjoy the game the way we want to enjoy it, because this is the most expensive gaming product, entertainment product, the Elvis of video games, the Elvis of the entertainment industry. Let us have the customization that we would like to have to enjoy this beautiful experience, this work of art that you've created. I'm so excited. I think the writing is going to be great. I think the graphics are going to be great. I think the gameplay is going to be great. I think it's going to be great. Like I just sound like our president now talking about it. Like it's the best. It's the best ever. You know, I know a guy. So we'll see. And, it could turn out to be a big turd, but I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. I think a lot of people are saying that are young and they're like teenagers, I think, or in their early 20s. And you get some life experience with stuff like this and how releases work and the vibe and everything. And you kind of start figuring out what's going to suck before it comes out. Like Cyberpunk, I kind of had a feeling it was going to suck when it came out. Boom. There's stuff like that where you just kind of know, you know what I mean? Every game release, I feel like I've been accurate with my gut on if it's going to be good or not. Red Dead Redemption 2 was like, oh, this is going to be a masterpiece when it comes out. Bam. I exceeded that, actually. I mean, it is a masterpiece, but I'm not saying like I'm God or anything when it comes to dictating, will the games be good or not? But maybe you're in good hands here because my gut has been right most of the times. And my gut is telling me that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to absolutely blow everyone away. And everyone who's got any sort of naysaying going on in my life, like, oh, I don't like this and that. And it's like, dude, well, if you look into it, you'll see that, don't judge it just based off of this one thing you saw in the trailer. Like, look deeper. Consider what that means. You know what I'm talking about. Naysayers. And it's not like we have like a gaming ecosystem, market, gaming economy, whatever. My brain's fried. That really encourages trust and belief in these companies. If anything, it does the opposite. And I totally understand. But that just tells me you're someone who's young and not someone who's grown up with the games. Gaming used to be a lot more optimistic. I feel like the companies, they used to be a lot more experimental. It's different now. It's not the way it used to be. And it's going to continue going that way. But anyways, I've got to go swap out with Willow. So I want to wish each and every one of you a great night, week, year, whatever. I don't say it like that. I say it like this. Have a great rest of your day, night, week, year, whatever. Just stay safe out there. There, see, that's how I say it. It's a thing, right? It's a thing. I don't know where that came from. I just started doing it. Hope you have a good one, y'all. Much love and peace.
Thank you for listening to the Dandy Andy Experience.